probably unmute my mic before I start blah, blah, blah with everyone. I was busy yelling at Eric. Eric.
Ooh.
Jesus, sorry.
That sounded...
Jesus Christ.
Weird. Let's just start this over.
Yeah.
just-
Let's try this again tomorrow. It's just not worth it.
Pack it up and...
Shut her down.
Yeah.
Very good.
Sometimes you just know, even right out of the gate, 30 seconds in, it's like, nah, shut it down. We'll do it again tomorrow.
That's usually me when I wake up in the morning. Just shut it down.
Yeah.
I got Seinfeld's on Netflix now. Shut it down.
Shut it down. Call it a day. I started watching Friends again.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. On HBO Go.
Max.
Or Max, yeah, thank you.
By the way, at least HBO...
It holds up.
Yeah,
It does. Like, I always thought Seinfeld would hold up. Friends, not so much. Friends does hold up. There's a lot of shit in there you couldn't do now. Lots of fat jokes. I didn't realize how many fat jokes they had because Monica was fat. That was a storyline as when she was younger, when they were in high school, she was a big fat chick.
By the way, somehow she just
put her in a
lost.
fat suit.
You know how hard it is? Like in the show...
Oh, yeah, she's shredded.
In 1 year. In 1 year. According to the show, by the way, in the flashback, she does it in a year.
Yeah.
A lot of people lose 150 pounds in a year.
Can you imagine all that loose fucking skin?
Oh,
God.
And she's always in, like, short little shit with her titties
That's
hanging
a great
out.
point. I never thought about
that would be just saggy and miserable.
Some of the jokes, though, it's so funny. I love the one when, what's his name, Chandler comes over for Thanksgiving, and she's huge, and she's got a crush on Chandler, and she comes up and she's like, "Hi, I'm Ross's little sister." And he's just like, "Yeah, okay." Your little sister, sure.
Mm-hmm.
He might have down the line had his issues, with the drugs and whatnot and other things.
Lots of them.
But on Friends, when he's going,
He's funny.
He's the best to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's very funny.
Although actually,
all the characters really are. They really did a good job of writing like 6 equal parts.
Yeah.
For those characters, they really, really did.
They all made them their own.
I will say this though, in my opinion, because I understand, and they didn't plan on it becoming the long-running thing. I love Chandler. I don't love Chandler and Monica together. I don't care that much for that storyline, even though a lot of people I think do. And I'll say, even though Chandler was my favorite, probably because he's a generically sarcastic dude, yada, 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 I actually think the most constant, because he doesn't have that fucking thing that I hate with Monica, is Ross. I think Ross, out of all of them, stays constantly himself the whole time and funny.
Yeah.
In my
Chandler,
opinion.
if you watch it not one episode a week for 9 years, he morphs a lot. Like when you can tell when he's fucking high as shit, and when he went to rehab, I think he went to at one point in there, and maybe missed some time or whatever, but he's bloated, and then he comes back and he's too skinny, and it's like, when they have a cliffhanger, they end the season on a cliffhanger, Ross and Rachel getting back together. Which bedroom did he go in? We got to wait 4 months for the new season to drop. It comes back, they're in the same clothes, but Chandler looks oddly skinnier than he did.
Right.
Who's supposedly 12 minutes ago.
What's funny? I thought about that when they had the big reunion, because everyone it's very popular to rail on him, because out of all of them, Joey gained some weight, but everyone gains weight when you get a little older, but most of them look okay. But, obviously Chandler, just gray fucking hair. He really looks like he's been through the ringer a little bit. And it's funny to me, like, I know this is such an obvious point, but, like, this dude, it makes me realize, like, this dude was on Friends at one point making $1 million an episode on one of the biggest shows there is. And it wasn't enough to, keep him, from needing that fix. And, like, it wasn't happy. It didn't
He
bring
was
the
a big
happiness or
Vicodin
whatever.
guy, right?
Yeah,
Vicodin,
pills.
Oxy.
Alcohol, too, but I think pills for sure.
Yeah. No, it's funny. It holds up. There's a lot of, like, you don't realize the subtle, like, you just think of it as a good show, whatever it was. But there's a lot of, like, what are you, gay?
Oh,
So,
yeah. The gay jokes, for sure.
Tons of offhanded gay and fat jokes.
Although
lots of them.
The funny thing is, I remember if it tried to get canceled a few years ago, because millennials started watching it, and they're like, oh, my God, all these things.
The fat shaming. And
the fat shaming and the gay stuff. Although, on the same hand, it was also very... like, it had a lesbian, Ross's ex-wife is a lesbian. I mean, right from the beginning.
Yeah.
That was pretty out there for 94.
Yeah, but they made fun of him the whole time for having a dyke fucking ex.
His wife
Like,
went gay.
it was a storyline that was kind of just mocked. Like, you couldn't even tell you were the
But
lesbian.
they weren't mean to lesbians. Like, they were mean to him, but they weren't like, oh, she's a lesbian.
It was a sign of the times. What are you going to do? Like, this idea of going back and try to rewrite history of, like, how things were at the time. And I always say, the shit you're doing right now, young people, the shit you're doing right now is going to be frowned upon in 20 years.
These days it'll be 5 years. I mean,
it'll be next year. Yeah, by the time you graduate high school, everything you did as a freshman is going to be
don't go back
offensive to someone.
All in the Family or any of that stuff.
Yeah, no shit. It's funny, but what are you going to do?
I don't know if this seems weird. I get more and more these days. I'm weird about revealing some of this stuff. But I was going through I was going through I always go through my Facebook memories. Love them, especially because mine in the past. There was a period of my life where they were really fucking garbage. Yeah. No likes, no nothing. Then once I got my internship at Drew Mike and some other things, they got a little better. The memories are a little more fun. Yeah. You go to Vegas and whatnot. But one thing I've erased from my memories, and I'm not a famous person, and you can't go back on Facebook. It's not really like Twitter. For someone to go back 10 years on my wall, I don't even think it's possible. So I don't think people can get to them. But one thing I have gone on my Facebook memories is some of the gay jokes I used to kind of throw on Facebook.
You were throwing a lot of gay jokes
Not that often. And they weren't even gay jokes. They were more just so I had one the other day where I'd gone down to visit my buddy in college somewhere, and I wrote on my Facebook oh, last night I went out to the bars and ended up fucking some dude, and don't tell my parents, they'll disown me or something. I thought it was funny. And I was looking at it now, and I'm like,
yeah, write that down. That's in the universe.
Was this a drunk post?
I don't think so. Even I really don't. I mean,
isn't it funny how when you're younger, what seems edgy and cool is so cringe? When you get older,
I erased it, and so I erased it. So I have gone through my memories, and
scrubbing,
and some of them, some of them are just real dumb ones. Just
I'd be more worried about the Confederate flag.
That's off my Facebook too, but I more dumb ones though would be the other ones more I ate a bunch of hot dogs or ate a bunch of wieners last night. Hot dogs, right, or something.
Am I right? Symbols? Anyone?
And I nixed those ones. I'm those don't need to be there anymore.
Yeah. I don't think I ever really did that. I mean, I suppose maybe.
But you were never really on social media. You know what I mean?
For a while. I would usually just post concerts I went to.
That's my point, though. You were never really.
I would post Roops.
Yeah,
but I don't think I really. One that cycles back. I got into an argument with someone on Twitter about terrorists. They were trying to defend fucking Middle East, whatever. It's when the hype of the height of ISIS was going on, and it was someone's trying to argue with me historically, Christians are just as bad. Ever hear the fucking, the Crusades? And you're like, okay, dude, I'm not talking about 1,000 fucking years ago. I'm talking about what's going on at the fucking airport.
Yesterday.
Okay? Oh, yeah, how convenient for your privilege to just ignore that genocides of whites have been murdering fucking people of color. And I get into this back and forth, and it's so funny. It was years ago. But I'll still get every once in a while, a comment or a retweet, and they're getting more and more angry at me for that, and I'm not gonna fucking take it down. Go fuck yourself. It's 6 years ago. Who cares? But someone will comment, and it's did you really just scroll through my shit for 6 years to find something where I took some stance on God knows what against terrorism, and it's you're painting all fucking Arabs as blah blah blah. I'm okay, it's not what I'm doing, dude, but whatever. And so it's who are these people that are scrubbing years worth of shit looking for something to get angry about?
Yeah, it's always weird when a comment pops up on something that's 5 years old.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did that come from? How did you even get there? How did you
circle back to this?
Right? I realized how bad I was at it originally. I think it was over at
tweeting or Facebooking.
The only thing I've ever really done is Facebook. I still never tweet, but
yeah, we're old.
Yeah, so I kicked the tweet on the twit or whatever.
Graham.
But I totally had the premise wrong because it says Troy Courtney,
Yeah.
And so everything I would post would be is eating a sandwich. Those were my first posts. Troy Courtney is coming home in a week. Things like that.
Yeah.
And now I look back at it and go, oh, you moron.
Yeah.
Those memories
Isn't it
pop
funny?
up.
You know what?
I really phrased it like that. I just didn't get it, I guess. But it was my status. I had to update my status of Troy Courtney is doing this. Or
you were probably in the Middle East, is coming home in a week.
Yeah.
Troy Courtney, instead of having it say Troy Courtney, Troy
it wasn't
Courtney
my personal thing. It was, that was kind of how I updated. That was when I started.
You know what, though? If you put it in context of the time and you think back, that was such new technology. The idea of letting people know, hey, I'm having this for lunch, is so cringeworthy now. But when it first came out, it was like, what are you going to do? Troy Courtney's out for a walk.
Yeah.
Like those were the posts that people tweeted first or Facebook first. It was like updating the handful of people in your orbit. You probably have a lot more in your orbit now, but
I sometimes share them as a joke because back then and I took this screenshot. This was from 12 years ago. These are all in the same day. It says headed to Bally's to work out. No likes, no comments. Same day. Watching the X-Files. No likes, no comments. Same day. Playing NCAA football. No likes, no comments.
Yeah.
And yet I threw those out. No, but back then,
did you know like there's no likes, no comments on this?
Actually, you know what?
At the time, did you even know?
Not have been likes yet.
No, likes probably weren't there. You're probably right.
Yeah.
But still, I've gone back on ones. I've done. This just happened to be, but no comments. I'm still throwing these. And this was. I didn't have a smartphone at this point, so I was. In fact, at this period, I was living in my buddy's house, my buddy's basement, and working at Meijer. So like, I would do things where I'd go to my laptop computer and go like, well, eating lunch, then off to Meijer. And then I'd just go to work. I didn't have internet on my phone, and I just have to wait 7 hours till I got home, and I go log in and be like, "Someone say anything?
Did anyone comment? Good luck at work today, E." Like, what? What were you expecting to get out of that? Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, if you're working on a morning show or something, you can be like, "Hey, this guest coming up," or here's a picture inside the studio. People would be mildly interested, but going to work at Meijer after breakfast.
I didn't start using it the right way, well, in my opinion, the right way until I started doing stand-up comedy. Because then I had to start, in my mind, I had to start promoting my shows. So I started to try to write jokes like, hey, my dumb ass is that, whatever, I'm saying. But until then, I didn't even think about it. Now it's all I use it for, really, is trying to write jokes and stuff like that.
Dude, what I remember about Twitter, when Twitter came out, like, the name Twitter was so fucking gay sounding. I don't know how else to say it.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know. At the time, I remember thinking that, like, I'm never going to say I tweeted something. Oh, I tweeted. Like, that was my thought at the time. Was like, I can't invest in this. This can't possibly survive. What grown-ass man is going to be around going, oh, I tweeted at you. Did you see my latest tweet? Did you catch my latest tweet?
And look at it now.
And now
it's the biggest thing in the world.
It's huge. And there's not like, I tweeted about that yesterday, dude. What
Twitter sphere is a place.
It is. It's a weird spot, man. It's grim.
Yeah.
It really is. I'll go on there. I like seeing what the news of the world or the news of the country or entertainment or sports is. And there's some witty people on there.
Yeah.
But it used to be a good debate spot, but you could still get like the headline news and go, oh, okay, what does U.S. News have to say about this? What does USA Today have to say about it? It's gotten so dark. Like, so many conservatives, I think, have just bailed and gone, fuck this, man. I'm clearly not welcome here. And so it is like 99-1. And so it gives you this really warped view of America, like, oh, this is how the world thinks, or this is how the country thinks. But walking around in society, that's not at all what you see.
True.
I know this isn't breaking news, but
yeah.
I find myself more and more, but it's bothersome in a way because I do find myself almost affected by it. Like, what are these people thinking about me? You know, there's a Mexican couple in the store, a black couple, and they're nice as shit. They give you a head nod. Hey, man, how you doing? It's like, oh, great. They don't hate me. They don't think I'm just some fucking privileged white piece of shit trying to take over the world, which obviously I'm not. You
wouldn't know that from Twitter.
No, you wouldn't know that from Twitter.
But
that's
the real
the
world.
Scary part, but it affects me when I'm walking around society. Like, is everybody looking at me like I'm a monster, like I'm a domestic terrorist?
Yeah, well, people need to live more in the real world than the Twitter sphere.
Yeah.
And, be face-to-face with people and have real conversations and not hide behind a keyboard and, interact. And let's get back to civilization and not technology.
Man. It's over. I don't, because you're never going to put that genie back in the bottle. It's never going to happen.
No.
The more people figure out that it's like that, like this idea of bolstering your opinions on Twitter, and I haven't been on Rumble. I know the show is posting there now. Wherever we can have it, we should. But I imagine that's the equal, like, conservative Twitter almost. Shouldn't say that for sure, but my guess is there's probably not a lot of quality debate going on Rumble like it isn't on Twitter. Like, Twitter is
totally one-sided.
An overwhelming shit show, one-sided. Like, it's crazy, the things. Like, I can go down a rabbit hole on Twitter. I don't know if you ever do, but it's unbelievable. I can go 99 comments without getting a different perspective at all. Like, it's like, okay, nobody is running to this in reality, in the real world. This
and then
is
the one that does
clearly
come up just gets destroyed.
Murdered.
Absolutely killed.
You're a bot. You're God knows what else. It's scary, man. I don't know where this leads. It's very unsettling.
I don't think I've ever actually
least.
tweeted.
No?
No. I think I'm proud to say that. I think I replied to something one time to somebody's something.
Well,
but if that counts as a tweet.
You're probably like, I stopped tweeting for the most part too. Just, it's not worth it.
No.
It's not worth it. I don't know most of these people.
I have everything because of my kids, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah,
all
you
that
follow
shit,
them. Make sure they're keeping their head on straight.
But then I realized that I follow their dummy accounts like a dumbass.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. People telling me stuff like, "Did you see this?" I'm like, "No, what are you talking about?" I'm like, they're like, "That's not a fucking page." Like, oh, Jesus. And then I like, yeah. Okay.
So they found ways to get around it.
And then I find that one, I send a request, and it just sits.
Yeah. No, you cannot.
No. Actually, you know what? I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I'll pass on that. But, it sucks because they're saying shit right now on all those platforms that give them 5 years. They're going to grow up a little bit, and they're going to realize, oh, shit. I was kind of a cunt at times. Boy, I was really laying into people for...
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And
of course. Everybody grows up.
That is what I will say. I've, joking about scrubbing a few dumb jokes I had back in the day, but I don't have any of that. These people that are like, I don't know what they're doing.
I don't have a problem with that. If you personally going through, you didn't do that to talk about it on this platform.
No.
You did it because, you know what? You've grown a lot since I met you.
Right.
And your thoughts and views of the world have changed, and if you're not comfortable with some of that stuff, I have no problem with people going, you know what, this doesn't really represent who I am. I'd rather that not be there and deleting it.
Right.
I don't
like
have a problem with
Facebook, it's much harder for people to find that stuff because you have to.
Yeah.
Twitter's a lot easier because it's that's all your Twitter is, that little timeline. You can go 10 years easily on Twitter. Facebook, someone had to go to your wall. The amount of scrolling you'd have. Like I said, I don't even think you can go that far. Right. I think it probably only goes back a year,
Facebook?
maybe. Well, it goes back forever in a way, but I mean, if I were to go on Mike Walters' wall, I don't think you can go all the way back to the beginning.
Post ever.
You can do it in Messenger.
Can you do it
in Messenger? But that's it.
People must be doing searches on Twitter.
There's probably a way.
Twitter
keyword searches because they're finding too much shit on everybody. Like, oh yeah, singing a different tune than you were 16 years ago when you said this, and they post something.
Well, like
you
I was
said,
saying, I think when you tweet on Twitter, it's just that it's more of just a timeline, and that's it. It goes on. With Facebook has pictures and where you were at and tags and all. So I think it's not the same exact. It's harder. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's harder. You'd have to really put effort on Facebook, because especially for me, I post fucking 50 things a week. So you'd have to dude, all down that shit.
Yeah.
I can't even find anything on my own Facebook. Like if I try to find pictures or videos, I don't know where these are anymore.
But I'm glad most of that stuff's there because that's the only place I have so many pictures. And
right. No, I do love
they
it.
cancel you. For some dumb shit you said on this show.
You know what's weird?
I'm surprised it didn't happen already.
We should back those pictures up. Yeah, last episode could
think
probably get us canceled on a lot of platforms.
I don't say stuff.
We're pretty certain they kicked us off Facebook Live last night.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I don't do a lot of edgy stuff per se on my Facebook, but I think I've had jokes that in cancel culture world technically could be here and there. I don't know. So point is, I've never been in Facebook jail ever. And it's funny, I know people have been in they're regularly, bow out of jail. And I'm like, I have never once.
I got in it once. I don't know if I was put in jail, but I was given a big finger wag in my face. And they might have deleted the photos. I had a picture. Beth and I made snowmen
the
the
snowman.
backyard.
I remember that.
And I put a snow dick and balls on it and took a picture from me to the end of the wall. You could barely make it out. It was like, my snowman's got a giant dick and balls. And they fucking flagged that as porn.
Yeah.
For having a snow
Goes against
dog.
our community standards.
2 snowballs and a fucking little dick stuck. Really? Okay, this goes against.
Right.
You can watch beheading videos on that platform at that point. You know what I mean? We're worried about snowman dick.
I was kicked off Facebook Live once because I was trying to stream WrestleMania on my Facebook Live. So that did happen one time.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But even then, it was just like they just sent me a thing like, yeah, you can't Facebook Live for 24 hours or something like that.
I was pissed. I got it once. I got a warning. Whatever. I don't even know what I did, but something came back. Was like, oh, it was, just a warning.
Yeah.
We're letting you know that. I was like, okay, whatever. And years later, I had posted something, and that got me suspended. There's your second one. I'm like, Jesus Christ, come on. I can't get a break. It's been 3 years since a warning of something I did, and now I think it was like a 7-day ban or something like that.
Wow.
My first one. Yeah.
Yeah, that pisses a lot of listeners off because they've got like private rooms. They kept branching off different private rooms, and they would only invite people in that they knew were not going to be a mole. They call them moles, and people get turned. But some of the shit people were posting was just holy. I couldn't even go in there.
There's
some of those pictures, and it was like, hey, they're monsters. Have at it. Do you, man? I don't care.
So can they not regulate something that's private?
I'm not totally.
I think it takes someone reporting something.
Does it?
And so then you'd have people like, yeah, I'm part of the crew. They want to get in there just so they can find the shit and report you. Yeah. And they'd get a listener suspended for a week. I'm in jail again,
Cool. Good for you.
Yeah. So they were always trying to fucking find who these moles were that were infiltrating, Detroit Cast fan pages and branching off. But the problem is, it's like you've got a fan page. It's got thousands of people in it. And then you branch off with 100 people, and then that gets fucked with. Someone got in there and infiltrated it, and then you got to branch off. Now you got a room with 20.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, someone got in here, and then now you got a room with 3 people in it. It's like this
it's like a group chat.
It's kind of taking away the fun of like a uniting landing spot for people that are fans or whatever.
I've thought about before, like what it would. Imagine if you could go back, and even for me, I didn't have in high school. I don't think that they might have been there right at the end, but I didn't know about them. I don't know. But I wasn't on anything, for example, even me post high school. So I always have thought back, like, what would it be like if you went back and explained to yourself what social media, like what go back to yourself in yourself in high school and tell you what Facebook is.
No chance. We wouldn't.
Oh, it's on this. You have a wall and you post things or something.
We would have beat someone up for all that fag talk.
We didn't even have internet.
Well, that's a good point. But
we wouldn't have even entertained the thought. Like our worldview at that point was so limited and so Farmington Hills.
Yeah.
Like that's it. This 2-mile radius.
I fly 1,000 miles to smoke a camel.
Right. Yeah.
Like that was our whole world. It was like, no, if it didn't happen here in the hills, man, it didn't happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
This idea that you'd be connected to
the mean streets of Farmington Hills.
The mean streets of Farmington Hills. Hell yeah. The idea that you'd even be connected to someone in Canton. Was like, nope.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's no way you could, the concept being wrapped around your head of like, wait, something happened in Portland and we'd know about it in Farmington Hills?
And like that.
Like, in an instant.
Unless Bill Bonds told you on Channel 7 or whatever.
Yeah, it didn't happen unless Bill Bonds said it.
Yeah, there wasn't a 24-hour news cycle. It was ignorant bliss.
And it makes me wonder where it'll go. Like, I wonder if it will go away at some point.
I think it was kind of the best time. When we our heyday.
I hate saying that because every generation.
I was about to say I think mine was. So
yeah,
I mean,
yours was the start of the shit show.
Yeah. No, dude. Yeah. I wasn't. I would argue I was the last of the good shit because I still, I didn't have cancel culture.
You had
bullshit.
internet. What year did you graduate?
03.
03. 01 was 9/11. We were on the internet. I was on the internet in 96, 97.
Not good internet.
Not great, but you could get stuff on the internet, email. We had that at the Drew and Mike show in 96, 97. So it was there. I know, not to the point that it's now. I'm saying what Troy was saying is when we came up, there was fuck all. We graduated in 91, dude.
But there might as well have been no. Dude, honestly, though, to me, my dad was not a technology guy. I'm not a computer nerd. So to me, the internet basically didn't exist until even my senior year of high school. And even then, I don't even know if we had it at home on a fast level. So, I mean, I really didn't deal with it until probably 2003 or
how did we get by when you couldn't just look up something on your phone,
calling people,
you
dude?
Had to get an answer to something. We just didn't know. I guess.
Yeah,
we just made up our own answers.
Depending on how drunk we were,
exactly.
how far the
That's
argument
why we
went.
know so much.
Well, like
because
my mom
we just made up our own answers.
We used to go meet my because my grandma and grandpa lived in Bad Axe, right? And so like when I'd go to visit them, we'd meet in Imlay City. That my grandma and grandpa would drive down to Imlay City. We'd meet at the Big Boy in Imlay City, and we'd just call them 3 hours before, like, yeah, we'll be at the Big Boy at some point around this time.
Yeah.
And most of the time, my grandma and grandma have nothing to do. So they'd be there probably half hour early, just sitting there.
Well, I've thought about that. I've thought about that before too. Like, unless we knew, like, oh, Friday night Troy's having a party once his dad goes to bed at 10. It was like, all right, whatever you did before then, you did. This group would go off and go to the Buggy Works and have dinner. This group would be at the arcade. But it was like, all right, 10:15, let's meet at Troy, and everyone would just be there. But when it was like random Friday night, like me and you were always together, but where was Jay and Derek and Hoop? I don't know. You didn't have cell phones back then, but do we have pagers maybe? Were pagers starting to make?
I had pager.
Hell yeah, so did I. But
SkyTel.
SkyTel, yeah.
That's when you knew it was a good one.
But even then,
payphones at 7-Eleven.
Payphones, yeah.
You just literally met. I mean, I can remember driving by 7-Eleven. You would recognize cars.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like when you were a kid, and you would just be riding by, and you'd see all the bikes out in front of the yard. Like that's how you knew what shit was going on. Like there were certain spots, like Taco Bell or 7-Eleven. That was just that was the rotation.
Do kids still do that? Do they still go to Taco Bell and hang out?
Probably not, especially these days.
No,
but
line's too long. That was the fighting spot back in the day.
Yeah. Meet you at Taco Bell.
Meet you at Taco Bell at 10 o'clock. I'll beat your ass.
Oh, really?
Yeah. 13 and Orchard. I don't know what it was about that place, but there was so many fights there. It was insane.
That's funny.
What they must have been thinking of all these high school kids hanging out in their parking lot, and we couldn't find someone. Go to the park.
Yeah.
No one's gonna fuck with you at the park. Bring your case of beer. What are you doing on a lit street corner on a main road, 10 in fucking Middlebelt? Or, at 7-Eleven or 13 in Orchard Lake. Like, what do you?
Well, I was thinking.
It's just so weird.
I was playing. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was playing a lot of tennis over the summer with like TCG, and we go to Lakeland because they just put brand new courts in for one, which is really cool. But like going there now, especially at 37, and like looking at because I did cross country and track in high school and stuff, and like, dude, when practice was done before I had a license, I do the call collect thing, right? For one, like, hey, practice done, pick me up. Would you like to make a call from practice done, pick me up?
Yeah.
And then you just hope they got it, and then just go sit in that wall with shoves and be like,
wait.
Hopefully someone's coming.
And I didn't even have a cell phone or anything. Like, I didn't care watch. I've never was a watch guy.
Yeah.
So you don't have anything even to tell what time. I was just kind of like, I think it's been like a half an hour.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. It's weird. But
now you talk about it. I mean, it feels like the old west.
Yeah.
How did we get by?
Kind of was.
I don't even know.
Did we have paved roads? But you know what? That's all we knew. You got to put it in the context of, dude, that was it. You didn't know any different. It's not like the other side of town had today's world. Right. It's like, no, I
was like Rain Man. I knew like 800 phone numbers.
Yeah.
I could just rattle them off. I barely know my own now.
Yeah. I know my own. I have no idea what yours is.
I could give you
yours is under Troy.
3. Yeah,
in my phone. Like, I have no idea. The other day, dude, I almost didn't answer your call because my phone keeps saying no SIM card. So then I have to power it down, power it back up, and hopefully it connects. You called right when it powered back on, but it hadn't gone through the system and gone like,
came up as a number.
This is Troy Courtney. So it just came up as a number. I'm like,
I don't know that guy.
Who the fuck is this asshole, and why is he calling me?
Right.
But I had an appointment scheduled, so I was like, maybe it's that prick that's coming over to look at the chimney. He answered, and it's like, yo, what up, Doe? And I'm like, hey, you sound a lot like Troy. Who is this? And I was like, oh, yeah, it is. It is Troy.
It's weird. It's just funny times, dude.
We were just talking about that. That's how we're going to take the world back. Make all cars stick shifts and write in cursive.
Write in cursive, yeah.
Write in cursive. You're going to need to know this. Fucking write in cursive. You're going to need to know this when you're an adult, they told us. Like,
it is, because that's going to be our code when we take the world back.
Yeah, autographs look better in cursive.
I can write some letters in cursive at this point, but to do a whole. Well, you know what I've noticed, even as I've gone through the pandemic, for example, because I wasn't doing open mics or anything like that. The only time I was still writing things down is because I did have a comic notebook and I'd go to the library and write things down. But because I wasn't doing that, I just put it on Facebook. I've been last year and a half, I just been writing on my phone. And like last week, I actually had to write something out, and it was like. I was like, oh shit, writing something. Like, I wasn't even writing in the last year. Because I just had no reason to write anything down.
I wish Ashley Biden didn't write in cursive. It'd be a lot easier to read.
Oh, his daughter? Yeah, it was a little hard to read. She bashed her vagine with something, a Q-tip or
she didn't want to listen. She
something.
Didn't like.
Stop. We're going to get thrown off again.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. How dare we? Anyway, we should get to the news. We've gone for a half hour talking about nonsense. It's crazy. Look at us. sounding like old men.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Get off my lawn.
The sad thing is, you're right. Like, I know you guys are older than me, but I'm now old enough that it doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, you're old man too, dude.
That's my point. Like, I'm old enough now that, like, when we started this show, I was still at 7, 8 years ago. I was still kind of able to be like, oh, well, you're old man. But now it's like, I'm just right there. The numbers are a little lower, but it's not old still.
It sucks, dude. It's going to hit hard, too.
I'm staring 50 in the face, but I still feel like I'm 25. I mean, my body doesn't. Mentally, I'm 25.
Mentally.
Physically, I'm 70. But mentally, I'm like 25.
I don't feel, like, I'm the same way.
Oh, my maturity level is every bit what it was in high school. Like, none of that has changed.
No.
None of it. I still feel like the same immature asshole that I was then, but I know
you are.
You know, I'm an ancient old man dinosaur now, but that doesn't bode well. I was really hoping there'd be a day when it like flips a switch and you'd be like, I'm an adult now.
Pretty glad
I'm a professional. I know, but I don't want to be 70 like checking out chicks' asses. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be that guy either.
Oh, I hope I'm always that guy.
I just texted my friend the other day because where was I? I was somewhere, and there was a girl that. Let's just say she's 18. I assume she was in that range.
We'll go with that.
We'll go with 18.
And I texted,
blue bikini.
Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. So I hadn't been to a football game, a high school football game, literally since I went to high school, which, you know, like I said, 2003. And my team sucked, so I didn't even go to every game necessarily.
This was at a high school football game?
They could be older though. They could be older. But
sure.
But I was
whatever
at.
You gotta say.
I was
we'll
at.
Go like 90% not 18, but we'll go with that. It could be an alumni.
It was homecoming.
Yeah.
It was
Could be
homecoming.
someone
She was
that
a
flunked a
teacher.
grade.
It was homecoming. So there could be some people coming back.
Sure.
All right, that
But
makes
anyway,
it up to 20%.
I texted my buddy because he saw it on my Snapchat. He's like, "Oh, dude, you should have asked me," because I didn't even know who wants to go anymore. Like, I just had this urge. I've been watching Friday Night
So you
Lights.
text your buddy, what happened?
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, there's never gonna be a time when I don't want to check out like fucking 18-year-old chicks and stuff. He's like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I know I look like, I'm sure I try to be good about it, try to sit there, and problem was I was by myself, which made it even worse. But I was like, you know, try to be good, but you know, my eyes were
deadlocked on the cheerleading squad. Oh yeah.
Let me help you out. Just focus on a nice ass. Don't focus on the age of it.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
Fair enough.
Plausible deniability.
I don't know why.
I think the only thing that's changed is it's not socially acceptable to just outwardly like, yeah, check out that ass. But we all know what we're thinking.
Oh, of course.
We I mean, you can't show a crowd shot in a game without us pausing and going, all right, where's the one with the great titties?
Yep.
Let's see. Where is she? Oh, there she is. T, get in here. Look, check her out.
I don't know what it is either in a way.
I'm never going to meet that girl. It's just, it's caveman DNA, dude. It's caveman DNA.
You're right. That's the funny thing. In that setting, you could be watching a game in Jacksonville, so you're never going to be in this area and see this person, but you're like, oh, she's hot.
Yeah.
I like that.
Conversations that go on in this house. I mean, it's just like, it'll be paused for 5 minutes. Troy's not in the room. It's like, no, I got to wait for him to get in. T, get in here. This chick, it's a family-friendly commercial, so obviously they're doing their best to hide it up. She got a great set of tits under there. I think she does. It's like, well, let's see. Oh, yeah, definitely. And then we'll break down the telltale signs, why this blouse, they've got it so that it's not revealing, but it's crystal clear to both of us that there's an awesome set of tits under there. Like, that's just like a normal, everyday conversation.
What about our ball boy the other day?
A ball girl?
No.
There was, it was. Some of you probably saw. I guarantee
there was a lot of pausing. I can only imagine at that moment of the game.
There was Troy and I. We discussed it, and we were like, dude, the amount of people in America that just paused and rewound their DVR of this game at this moment if they saw it it's incalculable.
It's just a regular game in the play. And we're just watching. It was the Rams game.
Sunday night game.
Yeah. Football. Gotcha.
Yep, tackle ball. The guy gets tackled out of bounds, doing nothing. Guy comes in, the ball boy, and throws the ball.
Yeah.
It was a midget.
It was a midget.
I mean, sorry, a little person.
Oh, okay.
And all of a sudden came in and chucked the ball. He went underhand. And all of a sudden we both just went,
oh. Troy had that reaction. As he had that reaction, I'm lunging for the remote.
Whoa, wait, what was that?
We both saw it at the same time. You just saw those little fucking dull bull
ran
legs.
Out on 3 yards out.
And he's got these what appear to be like fingertip to elbow gloves. They're so huge on his tiny little body. And he's got the ball, he just whips it in. The ball's bigger than he is. It's just like, oh, man.
Wait,
We were all for. We didn't have a problem with it.
No, not at all. But it's just one of those things.
Is that
where you
him?
see it.
I mean, I assume.
Oh, that's definitely.
Or if that's another one.
I'm pretty sure that's
because that looks like a Jets game.
Oh,
that's the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah,
no, it's a different guy.
No, that's the guy.
No. It was the Rams game, dude.
Who'd they lose to?
It was the Oh, the Titans. Sorry. Maybe that is him.
Maybe he moves around.
I thought he was wearing.
Well, he does more than one game. I can see that. Oh, must have been in Tennessee. No, it was in LA. But either way, he's part of the squad. But yeah, so just watching him kind of.
To him.
No, it wasn't a problem with him. Yeah, but it was just funny and just an example of how we go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
some of the conversations. But we just paused at the same time, like, what was that?
I justify it by we're not hurting anyone.
No,
we're just noticing what's going on.
Did you see that at I'm not great with names, but I don't know if the Richard Jefferson rings a bell to you. But there was
receiver.
No, he's an NBA basketball player, and there was a ball boy that came out recently, like on his social medias, like Richard Jefferson was a jerk or something, or didn't treat me nice when I was a ball boy. And Richard Jefferson came out and was like, yeah, dude, I remember you. There's a reason I didn't talk to you. It's because you were in the locker room staring at all of our junk. and everyone knew it. He's like, everyone knew it. You were just openly, apparently, this ball boy, it was known that he was in the locker room just staring at these guys' penises. Yeah. But he comes out trying to make a name for himself, thinking that no one will say anything. They'll just let it go. Yeah. And no, Richard Jefferson came out and said, no, I remember you, dude. And the reason is I didn't say anything is because you were staring at my fucking dick and balls in the locker room. So that's
good for him. That would do it. Yeah, that would do it.
He didn't want people out there because the guy was just trying to make a name for himself on social media.
God, it's just so pathetic. This victim. I need to be acknowledged by everybody for the hardship I had. You were a ball boy and one of the players wasn't nice to you.
Yeah.
Guess what? Not everyone in life's going to be nice to you. It's the way it is. You know?
Some people are assholes.
Yeah, lots of people are assholes.
I would say most, for sure.
You get a lot of what you give.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're staring at dicks and balls all the time in the locker room, that might come back that people notice it and go, dude, that guy's fucking creeping me out. Get him out of here.
Sure.
Yeah. Speaking of locker rooms, Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, still talk of the town. He went on the Pat McAfee show again, wearing I think the biggest problem he's got now is he was wearing a Star Wars Rise of Skywalker sweatshirt.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know, but people apparently hated that movie or something, and they're like, that's worse than lying about the vaccine. What the fuck you wearing a Rise of Skywalker?
That's when you know you're screwed. They just pile on whatever. What kind of asshole likes the Rise of Skywalker? Right. This is the worst of them all.
Yeah, people will take issue with everything. See if you can find the picture of Aaron Rodgers getting coffee in L.A., because that was the other one this morning. It was like, hey, Aaron Rodgers is breaking protocol. He's supposed to be in quarantine for 10 straight days. And he's got a mask on, and he's walking around L.A. to get a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Aaron Rodgers.
It's not?
No. He's quarantined in Washington.
Was it my
in Green Bay.
Or, God, these pictures, I don't know what's going on. I can't make them.
So Shailene Woodley came out, was like, dude, this guy's got tiny feet. Sorry, but Aaron would never drive this fucking car.
Yeah.
Aaron's got really hairy hands. This guy's got bald hands.
I don't get that, by the way.
What?
The Woodley thing.
Why? You don't think she's hot?
Not a fan, I guess.
Really? You know, I liked her in that one.
That doesn't even really. Like, oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
But if you're looking at a newspaper and they just
people
say,
really think that's him?
Yeah, but if I didn't tell you right now that it wasn't, if I just said, oh look, we've got photo of evidence of Aaron Rodgers out in L.A.,
I would say that that's not him.
Would you really?
I would absolutely look at that and say that that's not him.
Doesn't really look like him to me.
See, this isn't fair because you guys know that it's not him.
I don't think it looks like him.
And
I really
guy's
don't.
under a tremendous amount of shit in L.A. now.
Yeah,
people are figuring out who he is.
Well,
but you couldn't.
So what? This guy didn't do anything. He went and got coffee.
That doesn't matter.
What has he done in the past, though?
Let's dox him.
Find
him. He ain't clean.
Right now, he's okay.
He's an asshole because he's wearing a mask outside walking around L.A. I mean, for that, he's a dipshit.
That's standard protocol out there, I think.
You can walk around outside without a mask on.
But I'm just saying, I would think in L.A. that would not be something you'd get made fun of for.
No, you wouldn't get made fun of for it. But most people are not walking around outside in L.A. with a mask on, even in the height of it. They weren't. Inside, you put it on until you sit down, and then we all pretend that germs go away when we sit down and we all take it off. Yeah. I mean, I went to a dozen restaurants in L.A., and you just take it off and then act normal. And You know, I mean, it's just a game. It's a cat and mouse game. Howard Stern has really gone in. This Howard Stern weighing in on this, you know, on Rodgers. They want the league to kick him out. He wants the league to kick Rodgers out.
It's
just
justified, unwarranted.
Howard Stern is what, a 68-year-old guy who's a germaphobe and absolutely terrified of dying, terrified of his own shadow, terrified of germs. That's what Howard Stern is. So this is the perfect storm for him to fucking. I think he's been in his house studio since the pandemic hit. I don't think he goes into the studio anymore.
Really?
You know, no, they just came out to his house and built a gorgeous whatever.
Yeah, if you can, why not?
Yeah, so I don't think he's just in this weird bubble. You know, he's almost like Keith Olbermann at this point, just flipping the fuck out. Crazy. Wants the league to fire Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Is he one to really start throwing stones? What, in the things he's said and done in his
Hasn't
career?
stopped him in the last.
No, he's on the
year.
right side of the fucking the aisle now. So
yeah.
all that's forgiven. Jimmy Kimmel can wear blackface as much as he wants in skits. All that's
One time,
forgiven.
say you're sorry.
Oh, nothing.
and
Forget
that's it.
about the fucking Man Show and
Oh my God, the
girls
Man
jumping
Show.
on trampolines and the Man Show boy.
Oh,
and
he was great.
Which none of us have a problem with.
Right.
But then don't act like everybody that's not as woke as you are is some sort of fucking Hitler monster.
Yep.
When you
just as guilty as the rest.
literally fucking helped sculpt the narrative around
Wouldn't you think
people's
this would be
opinions.
nicer? By the way, I mean that's okay. Howard
Yeah.
Stern.
Yeah, I don't know if that's his main one or if
I've looked up, home studio. I guess. I mean, maybe they've changed it since then, but
Maybe.
every picture I shows that. You think they would have came in? I mean, you think they'd come in and basically make the studio
Put an
in his
addition
house,
on if
like-
you had to. And
he probably doesn't want people in his house. He
This
probably
one's way
wanted him in
nicer.
there
That's
for
a
the
good point.
minimum
Good-
time possible.
That's a great point, right.
They're going to give him cooties.
I'm shocked that he didn't make them make a shed where he didn't have to talk to them. They could make it, and then he could have came in like a week later after all the breathing had been done, right?
like a plexiglass window they can be
Yeah.
on the other side of. He
Yeah.
could be in his little germ.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. He might have had them there in hazmat suits. It wouldn't have surprised me at all if he had them in official hazmat suits to come into his house. Like, he's that level
Really?
of, he's a fucking weirdo, egomaniacal fucking super ego guy.
Well, we knew that.
Yeah,
I know the germaphobe side of it, though.
Yeah.
Like Howie Mandel style.
Yeah.
At least he goes out.
He says he if there was any decency in the world, Rodgers would be shown the door.
Any decency in the world?
I was so worked up over the weekend about this fucking Aaron Rodgers of the NFL. I don't even know where to begin with that story. I mean, this fucking guy. I don't watch football. Sorry, I'm not a big fan. I know the guy is a real good football player. That's why they put up with this bullshit. If there was decency in this world, I would throw this guy out of the football league so fast. The football league so fast.
Yeah.
God, Grandpa. Okay, great Grandpa. Settle down. Aaron Rodgers, come on, dude. Really? You know what that bullshit game? Yeah, I have the antibodies. First of all, I don't know where these guys get their information from. You got doctors who study in medical school. I don't know what has happened in this country. Yeah, let's just all follow Fauci like you, Howard. Let's just all assume Fauci's right on with everything. He's on the forefront of all the best science. So just stay with that narrative. You'll see in time if you live that long, Howard. Don't be scared of the boogeyman COVID. If you live that long, you'll see the real story come out eventually, Howard. How about that? And you'll see that you were lied to, too, and you bought it all hook, line, and sinker. How about that, Howard?
We'll see.
Yep. State Farm is sticking with him. They released a statement finally, which won't be good enough, I don't think. I don't think the statement is enough for the woke world. They're going to go, oh, okay, well, let's go
If he's
home.
not canceled, it's not going to be good enough.
We don't support some of the statements that he's made, but we respect his right to have his own personal point of view. That's not going to go over well.
Yeah.
The woke world does not want anyone having their own personal point of view.
Well, hey, the right needs insurance, too.
Yeah. All right.
You got to
work
toe
for
that
Jordan.
line.
Do they?
Exactly.
Do
No,
they?
they're yeah. We recognize our customers, employees, agents, and brand ambassadors come from all walks of life with differing viewpoints on many issues. Our mission at State Farm is to support safer, stronger communities. To that end, we encourage vaccines, but respect everyone's right to make a choice based on their personal circumstances. That's not going to fly.
Sounds
That's
like
going to keep him in the crosshairs.
Sounds like a perfect statement
Yeah, it does.
to me.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a perfect statement. Okay, you know what? We don't agree with it, but we respect it.
Yeah, that's not going to be enough. And in fact, I worry that all you've done is now that you've responded to them, to the
open that door,
the mob outside, they know they can get you to make a response.
Yeah,
and so now, my guess, would it surprise anyone at all if in 2 days State Farm comes out and says, "We truly regret the prior statement we made. We fired that media, director. We believe that everyone should be vaccinated, and we've decided to cut ties with Aaron Rodgers." Like, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
It wouldn't surprise me, no. But I'm hoping this is the start of the pushback.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't want to use the term "stand your ground," but to start, stand up for what you believe in, not be afraid of the mob.
Yeah,
that's the only way. It's the only way it ever changes is when you take the power back or take the power away.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has weighed in. He weighs in on a lot of social justice topics, and sometimes I agree with him, a lot of times I don't, but he's entitled to his opinion.
Sure.
But he says that Rodgers has undermined the credibility of all athletes.
Oh, okay.
Really? You're giving Aaron Rodgers that much credit? Really? He's undermined the word of all athletes?
The athletes that aren't taking it. Not everyone's taking the shot.
No.
What?
Not everyone's even taken the shot. And
No,
plenty have been vocal against it. So
what is
that?
Like
what about those
10%?
ones?
That's
like
what
that?
they're trying to act like they're all outraged about. That's exactly it.
Gotcha.
Like, oh yeah, Kyrie Irving wouldn't get the shot, but at least he was man enough to say it. It's like, yeah, and you shit on him every minute of every day for weeks.
Yep, and you've been calling for him to be thrown out.
Yeah. What are you talking like? We would have respected Aaron Rodgers had he just come clean and said what it was.
No, it would have been
like Kyrie Irving. I don't agree, but I respect his right to say that he's not going to get the vaccine. But you, Aaron Rodgers, lied to everybody, made it way worse.
Are you doing, is that who was that? Is that you or just something you heard?
Just
randomly?
generic standard talking.
Yeah, for sure.
It certainly wasn't Stephen A.
Very good. You picked up on who that was.
But that was not.
I've said over the years he's a bad man. He's a bad man. But
opposite of what Stephen A. says.
Right.
I watched Stephen A. for days blast Kyrie Irving, blast anybody that wasn't on the fucking side of getting vaccinated. Fully, immediately, no excuse. You're a selfish piece of shit. You should be run out of the league. No team, and I mean no team, should want Kyrie Irving. Yeah, the best point guard in all of basketball. Mm-hmm. No one should want him on the roster. Selfish. He's been like that his whole life. He's selfish. Now you're going to spin that and go, if Aaron Rodgers had just come clean and been a man like the great Kyrie Irving, we could get past all this. Nobody would have had a problem. You are so full of shit, Stephen A. Smith. It's not even funny. I don't even know where to begin with that. I don't even know where to fucking begin with that.
One of my least favorite. I hate Stephen A. like you hate Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. You hate Stephen A. so much you couldn't stand that bad impression.
I actually didn't think it was that bad.
From across the table.
I've never even attempted a Stephen A. Smith.
It's pretty good though.
I actually didn't think it was that bad of an impression.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Is that black voice, by the way, you're doing? Or
Whoa.
Stephen A. voice. Jesus Christ. E, you think they all sound the same?
I mean,
is that what you're saying? They all sound the same to you,
but you're putting on a voice that is a black person.
Just doing an impression of Stephen A. No different than if I'm doing Russian voice.
It's actually just
or if I'm doing Donald Trump.
Right.
It's a thought I never had before. I thought because there's digital blackface, I found out. I don't know if you know about that.
Well,
but
if you remember, I didn't identify the voice I was doing. You did.
Yeah.
You picked it out as
so
Stephen
good.
A. I did. So spot on.
So good.
But I know that the voice you were doing was, and that's an African American, so I think you were doing black voice right there.
Well, all right. There goes that fucking feed.
Yeah.
Thanks, E.
Well, hopefully people will report us.
All right,
we'll get
switch over to YouTube.
Guess we'll see y'all on Rumble since E's outed us all for everybody.
Well, I'm not the one who did blackface or black voice.
You're definitely the one that called it out.
He was woke and offended.
Oh boy,
he was.
You know about I was being kind of kidding, but there's a digital blackface too, right? You know about that one, Mike?
Ridiculous thing I've ever seen or heard in my life.
That you shouldn't be able to even use, like if you and me are texting or on Facebook or whatever.
Like you can't use the black thumbs up
or a GIF.
Bullshit, I do. That's
but like a Kevin Hart GIF. Like if you use a Kevin Hart GIF.
Oh, yeah. I've seen Troy, you went on a rant about that at one point.
Digital blackface.
It's digital appropriation.
Oh, well.
Isn't that what it is?
Basically. But it's digital blackface.
So if I use the meme of
We're
Michael
not
Jackson
allowed
eating
to do
popcorn,
that,
which is hilarious.
Exactly
It's still hilarious.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan crying.
All of it. Yeah. No, you're not technically
You can only
allowed
use
to do
your
that.
race because that's racist. If you use other races.
So could I use technically my race, like Jimmy Kimmel in blackface? Or Justin...
No, that might even be worse.
Yeah.
Wait, why? Because it's my race.
Because you're perpetuating the blackface.
Right.
What about Justin Trudeau?
double.
Because there's so many examples of him in blackface.
Yeah.
And I mean shoe polish blackface.
Yeah.
Like, could I use pictures? Because he's technically my
That's
race.
digital blackface squared. Like, dude.
Yeah,
like,
but
I mean, that's
you said I
doubling
can
down.
use my race.
Yeah.
So if someone in my race is doing extreme blackface, and there are, what, 50 examples of Justin Trudeau?
Right.
The leader of Canada in blackface all over the place.
Yeah.
Can I use those in memes?
That's a good question.
I'm going to go with no.
But the main point is that you need to remember.
But that's not. I say yes. I say you can use whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, okay.
I'm saying no, as in the mentality of what's going on. If you can't use the Michael Jordan crying, you definitely can't use somebody in blackface. I think you get canceled.
But the main thing
But I thought the rule was you could use your own race.
You can.
If my own race is in blackface or my own race in a meme form.
Yeah, if you're using a white guy in a hood, it's probably not a great idea either.
Well, it's still a white guy.
It is.
You know, what's off the table, what's on? Yeah, I just want to know the rules.
Yeah,
the main thing, though, Mike,
lists.
you need to remember is to not be racist. You just can't acknowledge any other races, even if it's just a humorous thing that you're, showing that you actually don't see color. You have to stick within your own race in order to not be racist.
Okay.
I remember the first
don't even
time.
allow. You probably shouldn't even have black friends because in a way, now they're your token black friend. So that's probably racist.
If I have a black friend,
probably.
Can I post a picture with my black friend?
You know what I'm saying, Troy? Don't you think that's kind of
the
iffy,
only
though?
way that you can pretend that you're not racist? It's a way to prove it. Remember the first time you sent me the black thumbs up or the black fist or whatever?
I use it all the time.
I know, but this is going back years. The first time I was like, "Why did you send me the black one?" You said because I can.
Because it's an option.
And I said, that's the best answer I've ever heard in my whole life.
Yeah.
And I think I've used it ever since.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're separate, your whole thing back in the day, by the way, of like separate but equal. Like,
separate but equal.
Stay in your own race to prove you're not racist. That's how you can best prove that you aren't racist. Is by not even acknowledging
I agree
any
with
other
it.
race.
When they started doing that with dorms, black people didn't feel comfortable. They wanted their own dorms, separate but equal.
Right.
Like, they can't have shittier bathrooms.
That's not segregation.
And
that's not segregation. It's separate. We should just call it separate but equal. It's got
graduation ceremonies. Remember that?
Yes.
Separate graduation
ceremonies, but equally the same. You with the same music director.
What about the keynote speaker though? Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you have a big celebrity come in. What if, like, for the, do they all have to have their own? Like, do the white people have to have some popular white dude, and the black
Stephen
people?
A. Smith can come in and talk to his side of the aisle.
His people.
And Garth Brooks can come in and talk to the other side. Or Big and
just
Rich.
Get like a
whatever.
light skin to do it both.
That was probably offensive right there. You probably offended someone even saying that.
Oh, really?
Maybe.
Mixed? What's that?
I mean, that's why for me, I just stick. I see people of other. I just look away. If I go to Kensington Metro Park, Kensington Metro Park, there's a lot of Indian people there. I don't even look at them because I don't want to be racist.
No.
I don't talk to them. I just don't acknowledge their existence whatsoever because
you've stopped walking by them going, whoa.
Well,
like
these are not father.
Okay. Casino or call center?
Yeah, casino. But
see, I don't think we can make those jokes anymore.
They're jokes.
Shut up.
Anyway,
I know. Well, we're going to find out.
What's especially bothersome is that Aaron Rodgers didn't just lie and threaten the health of those around him. He also damaged professional sports. Huh. That's from Bob the Dorfman, the creative.
The golfer?
No.
Oh.
No, not.
That was great. Dorf on Golf?
Dorf on Golf.
That was brilliant.
Was great.
Tim Conway.
Probably wouldn't hold up.
Highly underrated.
Dorf, is that a game?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a video series where he's pretending to be a midget. He's got like he's on his knees.
With shoes there.
On his knees.
And he golfs. And he's
golfing. Look up Dorf on Golf.
Tim Conway was a brilliant comic.
Yeah, he was great. Probably be highly offensive.
I don't even know how to spell Dorf, but
if you talk to the ball boy at the Rams game,
out.
he would be mortified at Dorf on Golf. He wouldn't like that. Bob the Dorfman, creative director at Pinnacle Advertising, said Rodgers has done significant damage to his potential responses. If you lie about being vaccinated, how can you be believable as a product spokesperson? State Farm may remain faithful for now, but no other prospective sponsor is going to go near him until he gets really immunized. He's too controversial a celebrity to sell anything.
I see some MyPillow shit in his future.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I guess this is some of it.
Here, is that the real one?
Here, let me do.
Whatever.
Here, maybe.
Yeah, that top one. That was with
This second one down.
That's a real one. Okay.
That's more fun golf, dude.
Yeah.
What year is this? 87?
Quick jolt of comedy.
Oh shit.
Get Tim Conway's new video, Dorf on Golf. As Dirt Dorf, athlete extraordinaire, Conway shows his form.
I think I blew a tube on this.
And shows you how his caddy, Leonard, improves his game.
So dumb, no offense.
Is this? I know it is. I understand
I
that.
get it, yeah.
Is this the equal of blackface? Pretending to be a
pretending to be
little
a midget.
person?
I mean, they're not a race, I guess, so I don't know how that goes.
Well,
but-
it's next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say it holds up necessarily.
Oh, no, it's
but
fine. I don't care.
At the time,
Oh, yeah, I
you
get
gotta
it.
realize what we were dealing with.
Didn't they make more like Dwarf on Golf and then Dwarf on something?
Yeah,
Didn't
he
they have
had
a whole
he did
series
a whole
of things?
series on that, but
Dwarf on football?
that's when he jumped the shark.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just Dwarf on Golf.
Take the one and take the win and go.
The Raiders, did we mention the other guy that was cut? I know you
Not
and I
on here.
talked
We
about
talked
it,
about it, but now on here, yeah, the
Waiver.
defensive back from the Raiders.
Yeah, I just don't know how this stuff happens. Damon Arnett gets into a fight with some dickhead online at whatever early hours in the morning.
This is the day after
Ruggs?
I think.
Yeah.
This is right in the same day or day after, right in
Right.
that wheelhouse.
Yeah. And he's walking around, he's in a fight with some guy. He's been on the IR since week 4. He was their number one. He was a first-round draft pick the same year as Ruggs, 2020. So this was his second year in the league.
Are these still first-round picks from Khalil Mack? Maybe.
Or Cooper.
Whatever. Oh, from Amari, yeah, possibly.
Didn't they compile some picks for Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack? Yeah. I don't know, but he appeared. The video appeared. No, it showed him. It didn't appear to show him. It showed him.
It's his stream.
with an assault rifle in his hand.
Isn't he
threatening
like
to kill someone?
Is
He
it his
posted
Instagram or his Facebook Live or
Yeah.
whatever it was?
Do you have the video there? E?
Yeah, this is not.
I mean,
gonna-
this is just.
It just goes to show some people can't. They're going to take the team out of Vegas if this continues.
So what-
It's been a rough few weeks.
Lame ass nigga, I swear to God, I will kill you, nigga. On everything I love, I will kill you, nigga. You talking crazy. Talking about that shit in 5 minutes.
That was it.
I guess.
Was it that short?
No, as long as it's okay.
Either way, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
And
I just he doesn't seem wasted there.
I don't think he is.
Just seems like a fucking more like how are you playing in the NFL? First round pick. Day after Ruggs kills someone going 156 miles an hour in his vet. Like
Yeah. Well, sometimes.
well, it sounds like, Mike Mayock is the GM there. And he's saying, today we waived Damon Arnett, a very painful decision. We spent significant time, effort, and resources trying to help him in all facets of his life. There have been a series of bad decisions over the last year or so, but we cannot stand for the video of Damon with a gun threatening to take a life. We just lost Ruggs and Arnett, our 2 first-round picks, in the period of 7 days. I am sick to my stomach right now on a lot of levels. Am I sick to my stomach on a lot of levels? Yes. He added there was some significant concern over Arnett's character when the Raiders considered drafting him out of Ohio State. We spent an awful lot of time trying to understand his
said.
behavior. We found the risk acceptable. Did you? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He can run.
After doing more homework on Arnett than anybody we've done in years that I've been here, and obviously we missed, and that's 100% on me.
You want right? Is Mayock got to be out of there? I would think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to believe that's between. I mean, this has been a fucked up 3 or 4 weeks for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Like I
well,
said-
Mayock was handpicked. He was a TV analyst. He was handpicked by Gruden. And Gruden's gone now.
Now Gruden's gone.
So Mayock, they've had nothing but problems. There's no way he's back after the end of the season.
I wouldn't think so.
There's probably so much turmoil right now that it's like,
just let's figure everything else out.
Yeah,
now.
Let's get through the rest of the season.
Let's just get Odell Beckham signed and move on from there. But yeah, if this shit keeps up, I'm telling you, they're going to take the team out of Vegas. They're going to put them in like Omaha.
For some reason, thought about
you guys. Some people can't handle Vegas,
right?
Give you guys
Vegas is a different animal, dude.
It is. It just is.
I don't know why.
Live in there,
but I never thought about that aspect of a team moving to Vegas and especially like athletes in that situation,
with
living
money
in
and
Vegas
all that.
and money.
Yeah.
Well, if you
never thought about it,
if you've never been to Vegas, Vegas is one of those places where, like, all the rules go out the window, especially if you have even a little bit of money. Like, that's an adult playground where you can go in and be a fuck, and they will let you do it. It is mafia run. You can go in, and if you drop 10 grand, they will give you fucking everything. You can get anything. Any drug, any girl, any fucking club, any hour of the day or night. Like, it's just one of those places where it's like, anything you want, babe, what you need? Huh? You want some girls? You want some drugs? What do we need? Like, that's what Vegas is on a lot of levels. So you can imagine the status of these guys. Yeah, we're going to have to put them in Omaha.
That's
we're just going to put them in a cornfield somewhere. You
guys lost.
We tried.
You lost your Vegas rights. I'm sorry.
The NFL's just going to have press cards go. This is why we can't have.
And you know what, Knights? You guys are out of here before you fuck that up too.
Yeah.
You guys are. It's time to go.
We got our eyes on you, Golden Knights. All right.
Well, for the longest time they wouldn't do it because that was the only place where there was gambling.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was a conflict of interest. They thought even the UNLV days it was a little sketchy.
Yeah.
But now that gambling's legal everywhere, it's like, well, why not? I feel like that's the only place.
I don't know what this kid did at Ohio State that had them going, they were very nervous. I mean, obviously he ran a 4.3 something 40, which they were able to just win, baby. That motto has flown with the Raiders for a long time. The just win, baby motto doesn't really work in today's woke world of sports. But I know he's being sued by a woman over alleged hit and run.
Yeah. Was that it's like a year old, something like that, right?
Yeah, it's been in litigation for a year. In his first year in the NFL, he crashed 4 rental cars in 1 month.
I wonder what kind of
how many red flags do you need?
I mean, how do you crash 4 rental cars in a month?
You could just be a shitty driver.
I wonder,
if you didn't pull a DUI off any of those.
Yeah. Like, I wonder what they were.
Shitty driver. He was a Buckeye.
4 once a week for a month straight.
I want to know about those crashes. I want to know, what was it? I mean, just fender crashed a car? I mean, I don't know.
I'm betting he wasn't going 150.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Where we'd know about it, I guess. But
yeah.
I'd be curious to know about those crashes, though. Like, are they just fender
benders? I would, too. I didn't find a lot on it. I knew, I was kind of digging around like, well, what were the allegations at Ohio State? I didn't do a ton of research on it, but, I want to know. But that's where I came up with, there were a couple disturbing patterns. And this hit and run, this woman suing him on. He denies it. Okay, great.
He will absolutely be back in the league, if not this year, next year.
You think so?
Yep, 100%. Because he didn't
kill anyone.
He didn't do anything aside from it's just a bad look, and they were toxic for Las Vegas right now. They were in a thing like
if he wasn't a Raider, if he was a Brown,
somewhere else, he could probably get maybe a little suspension, a fine, a something, a conduct unbecoming of the team, but you're not going to get cut.
So you can a first round guy, young.
That's
so
what
you can. So what you're saying, Troy, if I'm reading what you're laying down here, if I'm reading the tea leaves right,
I like that. That's the name of my show, the tea leaves.
Tea leaves. If I'm reading the tea leaves right, you're basically saying that John Gruden and Henry Ruggs, the second or third, are equally to blame in this. If not for their poor behavior with the Raiders spilling into Arnett, if that stank wasn't there, laying the groundwork, he'd still be a Raider.
I wholeheartedly believe that.
Yeah.
If this was just an isolated incident and there wasn't
if he was in
the
Seattle,
history,
if he was in Seattle.
even if he was in L.A., but it didn't have this whole Gruden and the Ruggs thing all in that wake and all eyes on them, I think you can sweep that under the rug. I think you can handle it internally. You can, get him some counseling, give him a suspension, give him a fine, whatever it is that you can do, because technically he didn't do anything wrong. I mean, aside from that gun maybe being illegal, that was words. words.
Yeah, you can't threaten to kill someone, Troy.
That gun.
You can't threaten to kill a. Can't do it. That's a threat, and that's a problem, especially when you're waving around a gun. And I can see why.
All right, here's the thing. There's no charges against him that I'm aware of. He was just cut internally from the team for conduct unbecoming, I'm assuming. So it's no criminal charges. And that's where things get a little weird.
Yeah.
When you start blurring those lines, when, teams have their own whatever standards that you have to uphold, but you're not charged with anything. So he didn't really do anything wrong legally, criminally. He wasn't charged. He didn't assault anybody. He maybe could be, but he's not. I mean, I
don't think you can say "I'll kill you, motherfucker" on video like that.
Well,
onto someone else's social media. I think that's a threat, and whether they go after him, who knows? My favorite comment of all on all of it I was telling you about was people were watching the video of the back and forth between this guy who he's arguing with, who he's going to kill, and this dude walking around his house with a fucking rifle of some sort, and people screenshotted the other guy's phone and realized they're like, man, are you having a fucking 2 a.m. argument with a Cricket account user with 3% battery life?
Yeah, boy.
the guy had Cricket Mobile in the corner and 3% battery life. Like, really, dude? Really?
When did On My Mama become like the biggest threat in the... Anybody notice that?
What?
On My Mama? That's like
I swear in a Bible?
Basically, I'm going to kill you, like shit's about to go down.
On My Mama.
Yeah. It's like if you hear like Allah Akbar, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
If you hear On My Mama, book.
Really?
Yeah, that's a new one.
Okay.
It's
good to know.
I watch a lot of World Star.
Yeah. Fair. Well, it's good to know where the trends are going.
Yeah, definitely. But On My Mama is really taking off.
Keep on the lookout, or listen, I should say.
Yeah, I'd keep my ears peeled. If I hear On My Mama, I'm ducking.
Just a heads up. Yeah, you heard it here first.
Cricket user with 3% battery life. Oh, my God.
That's hilarious.
Punching down.
Yeah.
You're a first-round draft pick.
Buddy.
Do we know what the fight was even about?
I don't.
No.
I don't.
Doesn't really matter. I mean, God, dude.
Kinda. I'd kind of like to know what he wants to kill this Cricket mobile user.
3% battery, by the way. You should mention the 3%.
Well, maybe that's, hey, I'm not going to give him the 3% thing because maybe they've been going back and forth for a long time and he's not near a charger.
Yeah, still. It's not a good look.
It's definitely not a good look. The Cricket is.
It looks like you're not handling your business in life.
Yeah.
When you're roaming around with 3% battery life and you've got a Cricket account, like.
Well, and you're doing
maybe
this.
Maybe that's
it'd be
the burner.
one thing if you're on, if you're sitting there where you're like, fuck, dude, my car broke down. You're trying to cut, you're like FaceTiming people. And you're like, dude, can you go? Or, I don't know, something. But like, dude, this is what you're using your time with when you have a 3% battery.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
It
that
definitely
someone
is.
Picked that out and found it.
Oh, people, dude, that's the
nothing
beauty.
Gets by anybody anymore.
No, you have to be looking. If you're going to be doing anything online, posting anything online,
I've become very aware. If I screenshot something, I crop everything. I try to at least remember. Make sure my battery's not on there. Whatever my notifications are, like
got 10 notifications, huh?
Like no, we're not doing that.
Dude, it's funny you say that. Like, I do that too. Like, everything that I post, it's like, what's in the background? What's sitting out? Is there a joint laying around? Is there a fucking God knows what? I sent a video to Aaron today because the printer was acting up and it was just shooting blank sheets out. And I was like, dude, he can go in remote and look at it. And he's like, what's it doing? Is it printing yet? And I was like, pulled out a video. Here's what it's doing, dude. And it's just...
Here we go.
And I'm looking at the video, and there's a pair of underwear sitting on the desk. It's an old pair, like Calvin Klein underwear or something that Cece grabbed off the floor and ran downstairs like it was one of her toys. And so I just picked it up probably a month ago and just threw it down. I haven't worn them in years. And just threw it down on the desk. I haven't done anything about it. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to.
Yeah, they were still there when I finished fixing the printer for you.
Yeah, I
noticed the orange underwear next to it too.
Yeah. But I thought about that, and I was like, it's just Aaron.
He didn't call you out on it?
No.
That's amazing.
If he didn't
but
notice
it's funny because this goes kind of then the old man trend we were talking about earlier. But like, you have to not only just look in the background, but realize that anywhere you post it to Facebook, if you send it to somebody, they have the ability to zoom in. Like, they just can, click on the little screen, and now they can fucking say, it's not just like you have to, like, okay, I didn't zoom in. Yep. It's like everyone can zoom in on your pictures.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, it's the first thing I do when almost anybody sends me a photo. I first do can I find anything here that I can fucking razz them for? The battery life, notifications, something in the background. I don't even look at what they send me first. I look at the background before. Then it's like, okay.
That's classic. Nice job.
Yeah, I think we're all getting programmed to do that because you feel like a dunce when someone else points out the fucking clear, the guy was naked when he took the picture and his reflections in the mirror. You're like, God, how did I miss that?
Right.
And so we've all kind of programmed ourselves to like, all right, just do a quick glance.
I reread
see what's going on in this
proofread
room.
all my stuff because I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to inflate the ego anymore. But there's a someone out there that hawks. And I've been guilty of it too because I want to if somebody else does it, I want to beat him to it. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
But I like proofread, make sure that my stuff's all right. And I was so mad one time I did it and I read it, reread it. Like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And there was something where I did it wrong, like how the apostrophe should have been after the S instead of before it or whatever. And I was like,
that's a tough one.
I know. I got through it and it still got me.
Oh, some cunt's going to call you out for that. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
It used to be.
You a cunt, by the way.
What's that?
Nothing.
Okay.
I was talking to him. To that guy.
I think we all know who that guy is. But it used to just be someone could nail you on the spelling or punctuation, but now, like, we've graduated from that, and now it's like, fucking white trash idiot. Look at those drapes. You ever run a vacuum on your fucking drapes, asshole? And you're like, God damn it.
Yep.
They'll notice anything. What is it, a Budweiser hat in the bag? What are you drinking, a 6-pack of Bud? Welcome to 91, asshole.
Oh, dude, it could be you tailgating maybe, and you take it. Oh, the boys, tailgating. It's like, whoa, what's that shitty park? Why are you parking there? No one parks there, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Just so judgy. Everyone's so judgy.
I don't think it's even judgy. I think it's just we all like to bust balls, really, but mostly I think it's busting balls. But still, it's like. It's anything to me. Like, it could be, that grill. You're going to wash that grill off? Jesus Christ. What are you making food on there for?
Years ago, I worked my ass off all day. I was doing underground. I was dirty. I was nasty. But it was election day. I went straight from work. I voted. I did my obligatory picture of my I voted thing, right? And I'm holding it. And there was like dirt on my face. I was in the dirt all day. I didn't even take a shower yet. And I got killed.
Yeah.
Killed.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a shit that I voted.
No.
Oh my God, look at the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Wash your hands much?
Right?
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, Rise of Skywalker fucking sweatshirt. What a monster. What an asshole.
Maybe he did it on purpose.
Maybe.
That would be even better.
Yeah.
To troll like that.
I love stories involving Don Lemon. He's literally is Joy Reid the most hateable person on TV? Don Lemon's up there because I don't think Don Lemon deserves to be on TV. I don't think he's smart enough. I think he's maybe the dumbest.
For that reason, I think Joy takes the hateable cake.
I think Don Lemon is arguably the dumbest person to ever be on a national TV camera or show. I'm not even kidding. I think he might be the dumbest individual to ever grace airwaves, and I'm quite certain he's there for a couple very specific reasons, and he's untouchable. We all know why.
Sure.
We can't say it anymore.
Checks a bunch of boxes.
He checks a whole fucking bunch of boxes. And so, when he's clowning around and being an asshole in a bar, like there was an accusation that what the claim was that he stuck his hand in his pants, rubbed his dick and balls, and then put it in some guy's face.
I mean, who hasn't done that, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's a standard move.
Yeah. So the guy that accused him of that, this story has really no relevance. There's no point to do it except to bring up the fact that Don Lemon does stuff like that. Yeah. And for Metro Detroiters, the story's never come out really, but there's more to that Chuck Pugh story. Remember Charles Pugh?
Charles, yeah.
Too, who was diddling little boys and buying them gifts and shit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He was like what was he, the president of? When he got fucking run.
Well, he went from news to like city council.
Yes.
Yeah, he became Detroit City Council.
And then some woman found that her fucking underage son was texting with him, and he was buying him gifts and shit.
He was doing some grooming.
Yeah, he was big into the grooming, and so it was like, okay, well, I guess I gotta fucking hightail it out of Detroit.
Time to go.
And so he went to New York, and guess who he stayed with? I have it on very good sources, really good sources.
I'm going to guess Don Lemon.
Don Lemon.
Oh, boy.
Is where Chuck Pugh.
Been hiding out?
Two gay black guys.
I was going to say, are they a couple? Are they engaged?
No, Don Lemon is
just providing some cover
sued for slander now, but
married to a white dude. Or married or
yeah, he's married to a white dude now. Lemon is.
Yeah.
And he hates white men, especially white men, which is what's so ironic. He likes fucking them, but he doesn't like them any other way.
Well, he hates Florida, and he went down there for vacation.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I guess we don't really know what he thinks.
Right.
We just know what he says.
Right.
So this story has literally no updates and no relevance. It's just that the guy that accused Don Lemon of sticking his hand down Don Lemon's own pants, rubbing his dick and balls, and then rubbing it at this guy's face, gave an interview on Megyn Kelly's show on her podcast. And she asked him at one point, do you think that he's done this before or something like that? And the guy's like, wouldn't surprise me. And it's like, ooh, could this be a pattern of behavior?
Amazing how you can take something like that and run with it.
Is Don Lemon serially rubbing his dick and balls and jamming it in random bartenders' faces on the next episode of Extra? If it was anyone else in the media, I'd go, oh, fuck this story. But it's Don Lemon. Who cares? So this guy was working at a Hamptons bar 3 years ago and claimed that this behavior could be part of a pattern. Accuser Dustin Heiss made the comments on the Megyn Kelly show, even as Lemon's attorneys have fought back in court filings, accusing the ex-bartender of withholding texts, deleting social media posts, and hiding a witness who contradicted his claims. So that all sounds nefarious. The guy was shitting on CNN on social media, which most people have done probably, full of shit network, whatever. And so didn't want to look like, oh, I'm just attacking CNN, and that's why I'm going after Don Lemon. So he apparently deleted some of those old posts.
Yeah.
It's like, ha.
Nothing's ever going.
Yeah. Anybody that acts like that in public without any fear of what it might do to somebody, the consequences it might have, that's a pattern. So Megyn Kelly then says, she asked if it seemed that it was something he had done before. I wouldn't be surprised.
Objection, Your Honor. Leading the witness.
Right? She's a fucking lawyer. She knows how to lead a witness, and without any opposition counsel there to go. Objection, Your Honor. This is leading questioning.
Clearly.
Do you think he may have done this before? Is it something you think he possibly has done before? This guy's like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Speculation, Your Honor.
Speculation and conjecture, Your Honor. He's protected by the fact that he's African-American and he's a gay guy on TV. I'm just some nobody. All right, this guy's willing to throw that out there.
It's true.
We all know it too, but you can't really say it anymore. He did. So he claimed in his suit that Lemon had just put his hand down his own pants, rubbed his dick and balls, and then shoved his fingers into that guy's face.
Oh.
That's brutal.
Is this Hampton's bar, or is this a bar in a Hampton Inn?
The Hamptons.
Oh, the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, by the way, Mr.
Don Lemon's hanging out at a Hampton Inn.
That's what I'm wondering.
By the way, Mr. Lemon, who, as you said, hates white people, he doesn't mind, I don't know if it's a cottage or a summer cottage or a home, but he's up there in the Hamptons a lot, isn't he? Like,
oh, sure.
Like he vacations in the Hamptons. Doesn't mind going up there with the old money.
Mm-hmm.
A network spokesperson said has previously painted Heiss as a CNN hater looking for a payday. The plaintiff in this lawsuit has previously displayed a pattern of contempt for CNN on his social media accounts. Yeah, well, you're public fucking media outlets. People are going to shit on you all the time. It doesn't mean Don Lemon can rub his own dick and balls and throw it in people's faces because they disagree with CNN too.
See, the move is to
you can have both happen and be true.
Yeah, the move is to not go after money. Because you take that weapon away from them.
Right.
Don't go out, tell the story. Say, I'm not doing this to get money.
Yeah.
I just want you to know this creep's shoving pubes in people's face.
Yeah.
Fucking.
And somebody will come anyway. It's almost if he's doing
maybe,
that,
but you de-weaponize them that way. If you take it's not a money grab.
No. If you do that, the GoFundMe will come, dude.
Exactly.
That's what you do.
It
You
comes
do
other
that,
ways.
and then a bunch of people go, he's not even asking for money. Let's fund him. He's taking Don Lemon down.
Right. Pay for that legal fees.
Heiss works as a seasonal bartender in the Hamptons at the Old Stove Pub. He joined some coworkers after work and ended up at Murph's Backstreet Tavern. This is where Don Lemon was. He recognized the anchor.
Sounds like the manhole bar.
What's the move? See Don Lemon in a bar. He ordered a couple Lemon drops.
Of course he
and
did.
sent them over to the table. Ha ha. Little play on words. Yeah. I'll get him some lemon drops.
Get him drunk.
Hell yeah.
Pew him.
He ordered a couple over there and a play on the host name. I didn't mean anything derogatory towards it, but as soon as he said, I'm just trying to have a good time, I just walked away. Lemon's attorney said in the court filing that Heist taunted Lemon and repeatedly yelled across the bar, but the host declined. I don't know what he was yelling across the bar. Heist claimed Lemon came up to him several minutes later and confronted him and launched his vulgar attack. Lemon asked him several times, do you like pussy or do you like dick?
It's a fair question.
Yeah. Lemon's attorney. Would you put that past Lemon?
No.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. E, would you put that past Lemon?
I don't know. I don't know Mr. Lemon very well. So
Yeah.
I
Do
don't
you
know.
like
put it past
pussy or do you
anybody.
like dick?
We got to clear
I'm
this
just
up right
laughing
now.
at the
Do I have a
situation.
chance? I
Yeah.
just need to know where I stand
Right.
People just
before I
gotta...
give you the gas face.
What do you think, E?
What'd you say?
I don't know. Do you believe that Lemon could launch a vulgar attack like that? What's
Yeah.
more believe? I could totally see him asking someone if they like pussy or dick. Could just be putting out feelers. He could have said it nice. I said it angrily, with hostility. I don't know that he did. He could have just walked up and said,
Hey,
man,
just for the record.
do you like pussy or
I
do you
said,
like dick?
Know
What's
where
up?
you stand.
And the guy said, who knows what he said.
He probably said dick, and you were like, what about this?
How about this
About
dick?
this one.
I want this
My
dick.
dick.
With my dick.
What a situation. I wish I could have seen it.
Give him the gas face.
Yeah.
His dick?
Or no, the scene.
Just checking.
Lemon's attorney said that the CNN host is often subject to racist and homophobic harassment.
That's tragic.
Part of being a public figure. I don't know what to tell you, Mr. Lemon.
Oh, okay. Hey, you know what?
What?
I'm going to take this opportunity to do
Do
a little
you,
read.
Holmes?
Yeah.
Do you?
Hey, you know that your investment plan should be created just
not
for
know that.
you. However, developing and maintaining a comprehensive financial plan can be a bit of a balancing act. Mark and Jay at LPL Financial can deliver the guidance needed to develop a well-balanced investment plan. Call today and tell them that you're a friend of the show for a no-cost obligation consultation at 248-626-2000 and ask for Mark or Jay.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Doesn't even sound like me anymore to
No.
me.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it does.
It's no, I know. Well, it does, but I mean, it sounds
Little
like a
bit.
younger version already. Like
Yeah,
I
you're an
know
old
it sounds-
manny.
That's how that works.
I know.
Getting up there.
I had this voice in high school.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, worked out all right. I used to pretend I was my dad.
Yeah.
Call in sick. Son's not going to make it into school today.
I had the whole
Oh,
move.
Mr. Rooney.
I had the whole move. Mrs. Margolis was our attendant.
Margolis.
Hey, I know
that's a
this
name I
because because I called a lot.
Yeah.
But the until I turned 18, because then you could just excuse yourself.
Yeah,
But I had the whole move down because I would call before she was there, and I would leave a message.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Donald Courtney. Son Troy's not feeling well. He's not going to be in school today. And wait, because she would get in.
Yeah.
She would call back.
Right.
And I had the whole thing down. I'd always be like, hello. You know, if I
Yeah,
could do
yeah.
the dad answer.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd be like, hello. Be like, is Mr. Courtney there? Oh, yeah. Hold on. It's my dad. Let me get him.
Dad.
Dad, the phone's for you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Don
I had the moves all down.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, people used to have me call in for them.
Yeah, because you're just having a
Yeah,
dad
you had
voice.
those pipes
Yeah.
back then.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. God, I guess you could have. I'm not saying you couldn't get away with it now, but they're really, I think, a lot more like they
Told
said
you, it was the
emails
golden era, E.
Right.
It was.
I was telling you that I think I was the end of when it was good. That's where I think what I meant. I was at the end. I think anyone that didn't have social media their whole life, I think that's the cutoff point of like at least you knew how to, as Jay would say, like be bored or something. Like you knew some of this. I think as long as anyone that was born where you're 5 or 7, 8, 9, you're already on social media. I kind of feel bad for those people.
Direct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Troy
We had
s-
real bullies, face-to-face bullies.
Yeah,
You had
I
to
know.
do it on the playground, not cyber shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Troy, it sounds like you had this all figured out and you were, ahead of your time, which on some levels you were, but the navigating you had to do was so much easier
True.
than the rest of us because your parents were divorced, they lived in separate states, and you and your sister didn't live in the same house. So it was you and Don. And so Don had a life.
Yeah.
Don worked. He was gone early.
Sure.
He came home late. He wasn't home on the weekends. He was with his girl. And so if you had a brother and sister there to rat on you, like I would have had,
Yeah.
or a mom that was home all day.
Nope.
So for
Right,
you, you know what I
right.
mean? Like, it would have been a lot harder with you, with Lauren and Brian
sure.
there, and
Oh,
your
yeah.
mom home all day.
They hated me in high school, too.
You know what I
so.
mean? You couldn't have pulled that stunt like Troy could. Troy had no fear
Right.
because Don's gone and he ain't gonna be home for 10 hours. Anyone can call.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's like so the stakes are a little
It's
different.
funny that they didn't almost know, though, that your dad
I even
like,
changed.
didn't
I went
work
so
in the day. Like, the fact that you are at home, though, it wouldn't be that.
well. No, but they would call at like 7 in the morning when they first got in. That's why I would
Okay.
call before they
Gotcha.
got in to leave a message. So my dad left early for work, so he would always make sure I was awake
Yeah.
before he left.
Yeah.
That was the deal. I had to be up and awake. But he would
Right.
stand on my bed and just slap my fucking feet until I'm up.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I knew, okay, well then he's getting his car and he's leaving, and I'll go take a shower. Then I'm
Yeah.
gonna go call the phone, and Margolis was
school.
trying, So I had that whole deal done, But the shit, there was no point of that. If I forgot where I was going.
When they would call back.
No, that I went so far as I changed our outgoing message on the answering machine because I knew my dad was never going to call.
Right.
And
She's
did
not
it
your
so that it's
voice.
my
Made
voice
it sound
on
like-
there.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
reached the Courtney residence. No one's able to come to the phone right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's
yeah.
the name and number. We'll give you a call back.
That makes
great
sense.
move.
And so I would do that, and then I would let that answer a lot of times.
Right.
Not answer right away.
And then kind of, hello.
And then when they come back, boom, that my voice and that answering machine voice would be,
Yeah.
No, that's my goal. Did you call me back? Like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry I missed your call. I was getting ready for work.
That was rubbing one out really quick. Sorry about that, Mrs.
Yeah.
Willis. You can understand.
That's
Yeah,
funny,
and then he
man.
would come pick me up for school in his piece of shit car, and then we'd go back to his house.
Listen, that 85 Escort was mint.
I don't know if mint is the word I would use, but it got us where we needed to go.
That's all that matters. In style.
Hey, we got a party in Vermont this weekend if you guys want to go.
Road trip.
They're holding a Let's Go Brandon rally.
Really?
Yeah.
In Vermont.
Yeah.
Surprising.
Well, in Brandon, Vermont.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Over the weekend, the new chairman of the Vermont Republican Party announced that the party would hold a Let's Go Brandon rally for GOP voters on Saturday, November 13th in Brandon.
Do they put like a 2 really small in there? Like, let's go to Brandon?
It's not a bad idea. You could pull up the flyer. They do have a flyer going around. So the party's chairman, Paul Dame, who's a Brandon, Vermont resident, he said, we have a lot of work to do before the session starts in Vermont, but as I announced Saturday meeting, we are going to start with a little fun. Joe Biden's first year in office has proved to be the worst of any president in my lifetime. Gas prices are nearly double what they were a year ago. Reports of costs of an average Thanksgiving meal is nearly double what it was a year ago. In many cases, people are waiting weeks or even months to get certain supplies due to a terrible shipping container crisis. Most presidents try to act swiftly in the first 100 days, and former Vice President Biden has next to zero accomplishments as we approach the last 60 days of his first year. Boy, he's really taking some shots there.
I mean,
He's holding no punches.
He's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
I mean, nothing he said there is wrong.
Yeah. He says former Vice President Joe Biden has done nothing to help the people of Vermont. So Vermont Republicans are going to do something to support the people of Vermont. We're going to start in my own hometown of Brandon, Vermont.
What the hell is that? A weasel?
Yeah,
Is that?
I think so.
Only an hour and a half. Why not go
weasel.
3 to 5? 3:30 to 5. That's pretty.
Yeah,
Don't
it's-
even get
can't
time
even
to
a
get rocking.
buzz.
Right.
Yeah, you can't even get a buzz in that. That's weird.
Is that what's the weasel with sunglasses? What's the relevance there?
I don't know.
Maybe
They're
it's
cool
the
in Vermont.
Vermont animal or something.
Weasels chew the trees and shit.
What's the Vermont state animal?
That I guess no. I don't know.
This Saturday, we are hosting a Let's Go Brandon rally in Central Park in Brandon. We're having hats, T-shirts, bumper stickers designed and printed as locally as possible as our first step to make a small contribution to the local economy due to supply chain issues. There are limited quantities and sizes available, but you can go online and start today to purchase things, blah, blah, blah. We've chosen a charity in Brandon that we'll donate the money to. The Brandon Area Emergency Food Shelf. We're encouraging anyone who wants to go or show support to go to VTGOP, VermontGOP.org to register.
Their state animal is a Morgan horse. So
I'm guessing that was
Okay.
not it.
no,
It seems like an odd image to put on your flyer there. Well,
I don't know what a Morgan horse is.
Do Brandon, Vermont.
that's a majestic
Logo, right?
animal right there.
Sure.
Yeah, it looks like a.
Pick that, but
That's all I could come up with was a weasel. Anything else in that?
I don't know.
All right.
God, Virginia's been in the news a ton ton lately.
Nothing good.
Loudon, Virginia, Fairfax, Virginia, like this whole dust up with the school with a kid with a skirt butt fucking the girl student, and the dust up with the parents.
It was an accident. Slipped.
So he said, but he didn't. I don't know, whatever. And then his mom's horrific comments afterwards.
Sometimes you just miss the re-entry.
You know, I wonder for real, like, when it's someone like that, was there backlash? I guess like, in the end, you guys had, like, yesterday I found out you guys had talked about it for a long time when I wasn't here the one day. But where is the backlash over a mom saying that? Like, well,
they probably just went, okay, she's a piece of shit. We get it. Her son's raped multiple people.
No, but like the people that are for this thing.
He's sending out dick pics in 5th grade. I mean, this kid.
But the woke people that just have to buy everything, where are they?
They have bigger fish to fry.
He just says, he should have defended himself from rape.
Well, Aaron Rodgers wasn't crystal clear on his vax status, so we don't have time for this kid that's raping kids and his mom making stupid comments anymore. We got to go after Aaron Rodgers. So unless he rapes another girl next week, we can come back to it then.
We'll see.
Maybe.
But Virginia keeps getting in the news with these
But they got to be careful because that gets into the whole trans bathroom thing.
Well,
I don't want to start messing with that too much.
Well, that's the problem. Where does it end? A new county youth survey directed at school children starting at age 12, as young as age 12 in Fairfax County, Virginia. It's the youth survey, a collaboration between Fairfax County government and Fairfax County Public Schools. Will target students in 8th grade, 10th grade, and 12th grade. People are up in arms about this. They expected to have this voted on, ruled, and move on. Some sample questions. So 8th grade, 12 years old. I remember being in that age.
No, you're not 12 in 8th grade.
Some kids are.
No, you got to be like 14.
In 8th grade?
Yeah, because you get 4 years till you graduate high school. You're 18 when you graduate high school, so that makes you 14.
Children as young as 12, so they're playing with that then going, there's a kid that's fucking 12. There's Doogie Howser in the school.
All right, fair enough.
I don't know. Some of the sample questions.
Virginia, there's probably a guy that's 15 too.
Does it seem inappropriate for high school kids, middle school kids? Some of the sample questions. Some people describe themselves as transgender when their sex at birth does not match the way they think or feel about their gender. Are you transgender?
Objection, Your Honor, leading the witness.
Yeah, it does seem kind of leading. Like, if you say yes, we're going to throw a party for you.
Yeah. If you say no, you're a transphobe.
Yes. Yeah, you're phobic of something.
Right.
Which of the following best describes you? Heterosexual, straight. Boring. They should have just
one
put
way. Come on.
Boring in parens. That's what they meant. Gay or lesbian? Bisexual or not sure?
Okay.
Have you ever had sexual intercourse? Who's the creep asking fucking 13-year-olds this question?
But when did sexual preference become anybody's business, though?
Yeah.
Like, that's the way I see things, is do
when
your
you
own
have
thing,
an agenda,
who gives a
Troy,
shit.
when you have an agenda.
Yeah, like, do your own thing. Stop shoving it down everybody's throat. But to ask somebody, I don't know.
Have you ever had sexual intercourse? I'd be like, fuck off, weird adult. Get out of here. I'm not answering that question.
Is that an offer?
How old were you when you first had sexual intercourse the first time? Again, fuck off, creepy, weird adult. I'm not answering that question. During your life, with how many people have you had sexual intercourse?
Jesus, how many already?
Fuck off. This guy has to be killing you.
Right.
Like the idea that 8th, 10th, or 12th grade, that this, you'd have to be sitting there going, oh, come on. Just throwing it in my face.
Am I the only one getting these questions?
Those were drastically different numbers. If I had to take that 3 different times from 8th to 10th to 12th, those were drastically different numbers.
Embarrassingly low in 8th grade too. Holy shit! Critically, this is bullying.
I did some work.
This is almost bullying a student.
In fact, I'd go as far as saying asking anyone before the age of 27, I think would be rather embarrassing. Just that needed.
You keep coming back after graduation. Fuck, I got to take that test again.
Fuck.
He's knocking on the door, trying to get back in at 27 years old. All right, I'm ready for your test.
1.
Go ahead.
I had it sucks.
1.
They come back in 10th grade. No, what do you mean now? I know. Fuck off. Me too.
You fucking ran me through this for 6 years, man. I finally have a different answer. I want the record to reflect.
I want it on that record.
Oh, this would have killed you, E.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
During the last 3 months, with how many people have you had sexual intercourse?
Fuck you, man. Like, Christ, dude.
It's a very specific question.
Right.
It sure is. And I
mean, what's the next thing? Not honestly, not even on me. Like, very specific to these kids. Like, what the fuck is the next thing gonna be? Like,
well, I'll tell you what the next thing is going to be.
Have you ever tongued a dick? Have you ever,
Have you ever had oral sex?
There you go.
You nailed it.
Foreshadowing.
They just added that for the fucking people like you that have never actually had intercourse. They're like, maybe he fucking, maybe he got blown, and maybe
checking
he
the
licked
boundaries.
the vagine or something.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Pegging that way?
No pun
No pegging.
In late September, 2 books had been removed from the Fairfax County Public Schools library after a parent dramatically read passages at a school board meeting. Kicked a lot of this off, like, yeah, this is in the school library. I just, wanted to read something. And they're like, objection, this is inappropriate. She's like, oh, really? It's not inappropriate to be in the fucking kids' library, but it's inappropriate for me to read at the school board meeting.
Fucking in the kids' library would be inappropriate, I would say.
Yeah. The 2 books, Gender Queer by Maya Kobabe and Lawn Boy. Lawn Boy sounds scary.
Yeah.
By Jonathan Evison, were suspended effective immediately when this lady had the dust up. The parent was Stacy Langton, revealed the graphic sexual nature of the book.
How'd she come across them?
I don't know. One of her kids brought it home or something, and she's reading the kid's book. She pointed out the books contained pedophilia, and one passage in Lawn Boy reads, "What if I told you I touched another guy's dick?" I said.
What the fuck?
Nick waved me off and turned his attention back to his beer.
What? So 2 guys are sitting here. They're drinking a beer.
One of them's having a beer.
And I'm
One's having a Zima.
And Mike just tells me,
Hey,
so by the
what
way,
if I told you I touched another guy's dick?
get out of here.
As if
your
your
wine
buddy,
cooler.
you're sitting here having a beer with your buddy who's not having a beer. Maybe he is. He's having a Zima.
Finally, he comes to your.
He says,
Ew.
"Hey, what if I told you I sucked another guy's dick?" You go, "Shut up, Troy.
Get out of here.
You wouldn't have a simple follow-up question? Really? Not a one? What if I told you I sucked another guy's dick?" Yeah.
I'm surprised that they pulled it.
Nick waved me off and turned his attention back to his beer. What if I told you I sucked it?
Jesus.
And then again, now your buddy's really going, dude, what if I told you? What if I told you I sucked it? Will you please just shut up already? That's the response. And then I'm dead serious,
okay,
Nick.
Here we go.
Well, I'd say you were a fag. Seems like an appropriate comeback. I was 10 years old, but it's true. I put Doug Goebel's dick in my mouth.
Jesus, fuck.
And then poor Doug Goebel getting out of like this. And then in the best part of all, the kids that are discussing this, I was 10 years old, but it's true. I put Doug Goebel's dick in my mouth. The real estate guy, as if every kid would know their neighborhood real estate.
I see his picture on park benches everywhere.
Wait, Dick Goebel, the real estate guy? Yeah. Nick looked around frantically. What the fuck are you talking about, Michael? I was in 4th grade. It was no big deal. Nick held his hands out in front of him like, stop. I don't want to hear about you and sucking Dick Goebel's dong, or Doug Goebel's dong. And then he circles back with this fine point. He sucked mine, too. Whoa.
What is with this guy just wanting to, like, you're sitting
He's
with
spilling
two
his
dudes
shit,
and,
man.
like,
He's fishing. That's all.
Yeah,
he's fucking really feeling this guy out. Like, have some more of that beer.
So then he says, stop.
another
Why are
one.
you telling me this? Just stop.
I think it's pretty clear why he's telling you this.
And so it ends with, and you know what?
An ejaculation?
It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible.
Doug Goebel sucking my cock in 4th grade. Gotta be honest with you.
Didn't
Not
hate
terrible. Little toothy at times, but I overall didn't hate it. This would put you on suicide watch. 4th graders getting blown. Here you are into your middle to late 20s.
How does this book get into a school library?
I don't know. I don't even know what Gender Queer is about. This is just an excerpt from Lawn
Boy.
Can you see if we can order Lawn Boy and Gender Queer? Booksy.
Does Amazon still sell books? Is that
Yeah, they still sell books. Actually, books are still really popular, man. People don't really. They still haven't found a way that people enjoy reading without the book. Most people do not, in the end, like Kindles or whatever people read electronically. So yeah, they do pretty well still, actually.
I like a book on tape.
Oh, there you go.
Read it to me.
Okay, the sling blade. Jesus Christ. I don't know. No offense. I don't know where that came. Why you just decided to sling blade to be the I read a book on tape voice?
All right.
Jeez.
Be nice. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I got so many random stories. The Travis Scott show.
Oh, it's tragedy.
Yeah. Yeah, you could see it coming, right? Is it just me? Travis Scott, actual real name is Jacques Berman Webster II.
Really?
Yeah.
That's his name?
Yeah.
I was really surprised when I found out Travis Scott was a black guy.
Really?
Why? Really?
It just seemed like I just
Scott?
thought it was a country singer.
You know what I said that?
That sounds like.
Yeah, I get it.
I just know.
Well,
I
it should
just
have been
heard
a dead
his
giveaway.
name.
He's dating a Jenner.
I didn't know this long before that. When I heard his name, I heard Travis Scott. I was like, oh, fuck that country show.
Right, right. Oh. No, I get what you're saying. That makes sense, I guess.
Oh, he's not a country singer?
I don't think so.
I'm just learning that now.
Yeah, he's a rapper.
Yeah, he's coming out now.
Too many stampede deaths at country shows, I don't think.
No, but he's running into problems because he's had a couple incidents that he's been charged with in the past, which, I hate to be a stickler for the rules, but you can't encourage fans to jump barricades and crash the stage. Now, he didn't do that at Astrofest in Houston.
Astro World,
is that what it is, Astro World?
I think so, yeah.
Was the name of his album, and then the tour, successful as shit. The guy sold the thing out in minutes, and this is like his second one. Would have been his third, but COVID killed it last year. He started his own. It's almost like Perry Farrell with Lollapalooza. This guy's got this big event. I hate the idea of, because this guy's just getting shredded. People want him. They're suing him. All kinds of lawsuits. People are jumping out of the woodwork. Benjamin Crump's involved, of course.
Of course.
Slimy civil rights guy that anything race related he wants to jump into. And it's a tough story. And, for these artists that want to fire up a crowd, we've seen this happen before. Pearl Jam had a famous show where a few kids died, and that crushed them.
Yeah.
The Stones have had people die at their shows.
Well,
way back.
The
70s. What was it?
Hells Angels stabbed a guy.
Yeah.
They
Some of
linked
the
was it Limp Bizkit, the break stuff at that Lollapalooza?
Or not Lollapalooza.
Woodstock 99.
Woodstock 99, I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
trash that place. That's a great documentary.
Yeah,
by the
it
way.
is.
I didn't
Yeah,
realize
it
how
is.
bad that got.
Yeah.
Or at least
I
forgot.
did.
At least I forgot, I should say.
I had the pay-per-view.
Oh, boy.
We spent 3 days watching
it.
that. Yeah.
Oh. So how much did they show of that?
All of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Was MTV pulled out? Like they were got their loader and everybody got the fuck out?
Yeah,
This is getting weird.
No,
Time to
it
go.
was crazy to watch in real time. But, I'm watching it with a bucket of popcorn from hundreds of miles away.
Lots of tits, I'm sure.
Oh, tons of tits. And they
Unbelievable.
showed tons of tits. But it was, it was a different time. No doubt about it. Your Kid Rock's up there. Bill Clinton's the pimp of the nation and Monica Lewinsky's a fucking whore. Shit that, and people are like, yeah, like
Right.
shit that just wouldn't.
What a slut!
Yeah, wouldn't fly today, But again, back then,
I do remember in the thing, the what was it, the owner, the runner of the thing or whatever, when you mentioned Limp Bizkit, he's like, and can you believe these guys getting up? I don't think that's what they would normally say at a concert, talking about breaking things. I'm like, dude,
Literally
they
the
have
name
a
of the
song.
song.
Right. Like,
break some shit tonight.
right. It's like, okay, we're trying to put it on them and not on
We're
him.
trying to
for
get
not
him to
having
calm
security.
down, and you're out there screaming, like my best song? we're...
Yeah, closed with it. This violent crowd surge. He's hit with a slew of lawsuits. Travis Scott, Jacques Berman Webster II, excuse me. A number of injury lawyers, including Benjamin Crump, claiming that Scott, Live Nation, and other parties behind the festival failed to provide necessary security measures to prevent the stampede that injured hundreds, killed 8. 11 more lawsuits poured in on Monday. Scott pledged to cover all funeral costs and announced that he will be partnering with BetterHelp to supply free one-on-one online therapy to any concert goers impacted. He will also refund the cost of all tickets. But they say that is not enough. The strategy was years in the making because of a history of injuries reported at his performances, including 3 hospitalizations at the same event in 2019. He kept singing for 30 minutes after shit went crazy, despite numerous deaths, injuries, and screams from fans for the show to stop. I don't know how you expect the artist on stage
understand what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how
crowds are going bonkers all the time. Like, how would you honestly, if you're being fair about it, how the hell would...
Well, have you ever been to a fucking punk rock show? I mean, dude, I've been to places where people got hurt at concerts and shit.
Of course.
I'm not saying...
Ever been to Harpo's?
Right. Right. Shot and robbed right outside the place. Right.
We are hearing horrific accounts of the terror and helplessness people experience, the horror of a crushing crowd, the awful trauma of watching people die while trying to save them, Benjamin Crumb said. Meanwhile, more than 10,000 people have signed a petition attempting to block him from being able to play and headline at Coachella in California next April. Crump set up a designated website. Anyone else feeling traumatized, just reach out to me. I'll be glad to take 1/3 of whatever amount of money we can
I join
steal
in?
from these people. Sure.
Why not?
Sure.
I mean, I was traumatized by having to talk about it.
Yeah,
So
I saw the video of it.
right there you go.
Well, he's pointing, the lawyer's pointing, look at this TikTok video. This girl's climbing a ladder and screaming for help. As if...
You can hear what she's saying.
Yeah, you expect Travis Scott personally to hear that from the stage?
I saw one with everybody
People
took
were
out their
waving.
phones and they were waving the flashlight. Like, yeah, that's what people at fucking concerts do. You're supposed to all of a sudden realize that's where they give him a Morse code.
some
He's supposed
people
to
were
know
even
what
just
SOS.
Screaming out words randomly.
saying,
and-
"Stop the show! Stop the show!" Like, I'm sure you can understand exactly what they're saying.
Yeah. Edgar Acosta held a press conference with the Texas attorney, Tony Busby. I think Acosta's kid was killed. Axel Acosta was 21-year-old son. He's suing now of that death. They need to make things change in these types of events. Today it was me. I lost my son. It could have been you. When you send your kid to have some fun because somebody else is not providing the right, I don't know how you can explain it, the right security. He was a great kid, excellent student. He was trying to study and go to school to be an engineer or a computer programmer. Busby said his firm is filing suit on behalf of 35 plaintiffs, including Acosta. Certainly neither Travis Scott nor his handlers, entourage managers, agents, promoters, organizers, or sponsors cared enough about Axel.
Sponsors that aren't there. Like, what are you talking about? The sponsor? Some people that, Pepsi or something that, or whatever they paid
Cared about the
for a
$100 you
banner.
spent on the ticket.
Yeah.
But what are you supposed to do? I mean, that's if a crowd surges like that. I mean, it's one thing if it was something blatantly negligent that they had done that caused these deaths, right? But it was just a 10,000 people all pushed forward.
50,000 people.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just in the pit area or however it was, How do you stop that? It's not like he started it, incite it. Like, everybody rush the stage, come to me, it just did it and happened. So I just don't see where the negligence on his part is, or how you could have even prevented it. I mean, aside from totally restructuring how you do it, maybe have, like barriers in between, rows kind of a thing, so that you separate, you can't have that
really
mass
helps?
of people, but that's not on him to do. I mean, every concert ever's been that way.
Chairs, like they do at LCA.
Yeah.
How they have chairs for the front where people can't mash together. They've got rows of chairs as barriers. But a lot of these
festivals,
EDM festivals
Totally
and shit like that, it's
different,
totally different.
And
we've
even
all been
those,
there.
they have the first area,
pits.
like the front is like a pit or GA, and then they have seating behind that. But even with those, there's a lot of times the first section by the stage is general admission pit style.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just so in line with today's.
Somebody's always got to be at fault.
Yeah,
right. It's always somebody's fault, and sometimes shit just happens.
Yeah.
The irony is that who's not at fault? The crowd, the people that did it, that caused it. Mm-hmm. No one's saying anything about them.
Yeah,
they're not responsible. They didn't do anything wrong. They're all the victims apparently somehow. But the guy that's on stage putting on the show, giving him the opportunity to have all this. And if this doesn't happen, everything goes off with a hitch, it's totally fine. He wasn't responsible for anything. But because these people did what they did, and something happened, tragic, albeit, somehow he's responsible, and he was negligent, and he's canceled, and
we can't ever let him work again.
And
he should have.
And he can't go to Coachella to help pay for everybody's funeral that he's going to cover, and the things that he's doing, and all the money he lost on this. It's
the event's probably
the end of time
forever. Yeah, it's just. It's exactly that. It's looking for.
I understand he's had some incidents in his past and things like that, but that's a performer that's in the heat of the moment. But just to say that somehow you're personally responsible, and especially when you go all the way down, his team, the sponsors, everybody.
Yeah, they weren't looking out for Axel. Like, well, Okay.
They didn't have enough paramedics on hand. Well, nobody ever has had enough paramedics for 50 people to, collapse at the same time.
Yeah.
It's nobody's staffed like that.
Thank you to all the people that reached out to me, by the way. They released a picture of one of the victims. They were trying to identify him. It's not me.
Thank God.
Yeah, this guy. He's like 495 pounds and...
Wait, can you put that up next against your face, maybe?
But it's like...
That's canny.
Look, I appreciate the concern from people, but it's not me. And I don't know who the guy is. They've probably identified him by now, but I must have got dozens of people wondering if
I don't know, man. I mean, it looks,
Jesus, is that his autopsy picture? What?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, for fuck. They couldn't get like his driver's license or something?
No, then they know who he was.
That's the dead guy's photo?
They actually posted for ID purposes only. We're trying to figure out who this is. So you can imagine how many people reached out to me going,
holy shit. Welfare check.
You should have made sure you checked in on Facebook. Safe. Mike Walters is safe from the...
I'm not this guy?
Yeah.
Listen, if I was going to bet, I would think that guy would have survived.
Yeah.
I would think that guy could stand his ground.
That dude needs he's a guy who would need a neck man, looks like.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Well, we're glad that wasn't
another job lost.
Yeah.
The damn economy.
Sons of bitches. All right. Should we get out of here?
Sounds good.
Rest in peace.
Is our feed still on? Are we still live? Did we not mess it up today?
Luckily, because we'll find out later, thank God.
Boy. So, anyway. We'll be back. Maybe we'll do something tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? You won't be here. I haven't talked to Travis. We'll see. If not, we'll do something Thursday.
Don't be putting it out there because you'll get killed if you don't do it.
That's okay.
I know.
I can take that heat. We'll try. How about that? It'll be a nice surprise. If
we'll see.
Tomorrow. But we'll be here Thursday for sure. If not, tomorrow. All right?
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Great job. We'll see hopefully everybody tomorrow.